Good morning and welcome to the AM show. Today's Thursday morning, today's Thursday. There's a lot in stock for all of us. You need to prepare your mind to take advantage of it. However you're watching, wherever you're watching us from, we are grateful to you for allowing us into your space. Let me run you through how the show will run today. Of course, we'll begin with the AM show. After that, we'll bring you the AM Sports, where we'll give you an update on what's happening in the world of sports. From that, we delve into the news review. And today we'll be joined by David Vondi. He is MP for Trifo Etimokwa constituency and a board member of SIC. We'll also be joined by the former Member of Parliament for Sekondi and also former Minister for Tourism, Andrew Ejapa Mesa. And Nana Yao Sapon is with the Movement for Change. Now, after that, we'll delve into our big stories. And yesterday, President John Mahama engaged the media in a maiden edition of 8 months after assuming power. I mean, that was a maiden edition of Meet the Press, and it has. This is the one that is coming just 8 months into the tenure of a president. So we'll delve into the issues that came up at that particular encounter. You heard what the president said about the fight against Galamsey, where they now will be taking small-scale miners to Australia to watch how mining is done. We'll also be analyzing all of those issues. And also a conversation with the NPP aspiring General Secretary, the Honorable Eugene Boakye, former Member of Parliament for Subing constituency in the Ashanti region. You don't want to miss any of these items on the table this morning. Join the conversation with your thoughts, and also would activate the phone lines for you to join us later on the show. Remember that the AM show is sponsored by Keroga Company Limited and Syntex Tanks. And my name is Samuel Kojo Brace. I will be a Lone Ranger on the show today. But of course, we start the show with the AM news with the beautiful Noella Karim Iyali. Good morning to you.
Hello there, good morning and welcome to the news on the AM show. I'm Noella Karaniali. We begin with our top story, and dismissed workers of the Ghana Water Limited have called the termination of their contract as injustice, taken to the streets, in protest. Now, the trainees whose contracts were suspended 8 months ago say they were abruptly let go despite months of service. Now, clad in red and wielding placards, they insist they're now bearing the brunt of Ghana's harsh economic climate, and Stephen Mensah has more.
For these former trainees, life has come to a standstill. They insist their termination is not just about losing jobs, but about being denied the long-term employment they were promised.
Life has been terrible to some of us. I think I would say all of us. Most of us has resigned from our previous works just to take Ghana Water job. And then we worked for 2 months, we've been suspended. They haven't paid us till now.
I'm from Takoradi. I was posted to Kumasi and I had to go rent a place and stay there until date. I'm stuck in Kumasi.
For months, they say they dedicated themselves to serving the Ghana Water Company. With contracts abruptly suspended, they feel abandoned, trapped in an economy that provides little relief.
I did my service here at Ghana Water. So after service, I applied for the job, and then I had the letter to come for the interview, and then I passed, and then I started the work, and then this happened. I do little business here and there, so that's what I survive on.
I rented a house of 15,000 Ghana cedis, and the people are chasing me every day for their money. Why am I going to get the money to pay them? I always keep on telling them that, oh, they will call us back and they will pay us and I'll pay you. And that has not happened.
Management, represented by the Chief Human Resource Manager, received their petition promising a review. But for the workers, time is running out. After 8 months without income, many say they are struggling to provide for their families.
We have kids at home. School, as we know, school has just reopened, and we are not able to pay their fees. We don't know what to do.
It is not easy for us. We have to beg people to help us with money and even feed ourselves. So we are begging. The president, I know he's a father for all. Therefore, when this message gets to him, he should talk to our MD to call us back.
These workers are calling for the immediate reinstatement of the employment. Reporting for Joy News, I am Stephen Mensah, Accra.
Now, some residents of Kumasi are demanding tougher actions against illegal mining, which they blame for destroying vital water sources. Now, their concerns come as utility companies push for sharp tariff hikes, and Ghana Water Limited is asking the PURC for a 280% increase, while the Electricity Company of Ghana is seeking a 225%. Now, both cite rising cost and looming financial strain. Here are some reactions from the consumers on the streets of Kumasi.
Galamse Dumano, or say Utuasia, or man and Nipre, so when Tuasia, Dachi Binu, Yen so cry the year no, because Mimi say Mimi Krum Prana Daho, or my sales winning in a Yanamaho, Madame Esla Bain said, or man in Nancy form.
The government must put in place immediate actions to stop the Galamsey because the proposed bills will really affect us.
They increase the bill of the electricity to affect the citizen. No, they should consider the citizen and the ECDC and the government supposed to sit down and discuss and find a way out of it. That is the best thing I can say from now, because to increase the bill, a lot of Ghanaians, we are going through a lot of financial crisis. One of the best things is to sit down and the ECDC board to sit down with the government and to find a way to settle the case.
I only sell water. If they increase the cost, it is really going to affect me. Until the politicians stop the illegal mining themselves, we will continue to suffer.
Now, some foreign shops in Abosokai have shut down as the 48-hour eviction notice issued by the Abosokai Spare Parts Dealers Association expires. Now, the local traders in Abosokai are in a crunch meeting with their foreign counterparts to decide their fate in the retail market. The Spare Parts Dealers Association on Monday raised concerns about how foreigners have unlawfully taken over their retail businesses as they gave the expatriates a 48-hour ultimatum to evacuate the retail market. The ultimatum expires today, and Adobe Asare returned to check the state of affairs in the market and reports.
1, 2, and several other shops owned by foreign nationals at Abosokai were closed today. This follows a directive from Ghanaian spare parts dealers in the enclave asking their foreign counterparts to suspend operations until a proper stakeholder meeting is held between local trade leaders and leaders of the foreign community. The directive, which took effect from Monday, September 8 through Wednesday, September 10, comes on the back of rising concerns that the activities of foreign traders are putting undue pressure on local businesses. While some foreign shop owners complied, others kept their shops open.
When
these foreigners supply to us, they end up selling the same goods with us, which puts pressure on our business. We just want them to supply and leave.
When
meeting last and then we raised that concerns there. So from that, no time say
they were given up to today to close their shop, but we can see some of their shops are still open, so we want answers.
We don't know, so he answers.
Out Out of respect for their leaders and in the interest of peace, the Ghanaian traders refrained from confrontations or altercations with their foreign counterparts. Instead, they chose to wait patiently for the outcome of the discussions between the two groups.
Now, the provost of the College of Distance Education at the University of Cape Coast, Professor Anochi Mohammed Adam, has emphasized the urgent need to expand tertiary education access to communities beyond the university's immediate reach. At the commissioning of UCC's new Distance Education Center at Dominase in the Boakye municipality of the Ashanti region, Professor Adam explained that the university's mission is to extend its academic resources beyond the main campus, ensuring that more Ghanaians, irrespective of your location, benefit from the quality or higher quality education.
The College of Distance Education at the University of Cape Coast is expanding its knowledge impacting wings through the commissioning of a new distance education campus and 2-number residential accommodation blocks in Dominase in the Boakye municipality of the Ashanti region. Speaking at the commissioning, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor Johnson Yakubu, stated that the fully equipped academic hub is a center for the nurturing and sharing of knowledge.
What we are commissioning today is not merely a physical structure. It is a gateway to opportunity, a place where knowledge will be created, nurtured, and shared. It is a testament to the University of Cape Coast's unwavering commitment to academic excellence, inclusivity, and innovation. As we commission this facility, I call on all our students, faculty, staff, and the Dominase community to protect, maintain, and fully utilize this center to advance scholarship and development. Let us ensure that this investment yields lasting impacts for our learners, our communities, and our nation.
In an interview, the provost of the UCC College of Distance Education, Professor Anochi Mohammed Adam, indicated that the new Dominase campus is part of the university's efforts to push tertiary education closer to communities.
As other schools are pushing closer to us, we should also push closer to them. So this is one of the campuses that we have established. So last year, we took a bold decision to establish 3 campuses, converting Accra Study Center as a UCC campus, and also Agranya Krum as also a campus. And this UCC Dominase campus was also established. So we intend to, you see, concentration, and people have areas they want to live. Some people are not, may not want to travel all the way to Cape Coast. They are in Kumasi, they are very comfortable in Kumasi. We should bring programs closer to them so that they can also have places that they want to enjoy UCC quality education. And that's why we established this campus, and it has been accredited.
Sharing the significance of the new campus in Dominase, the director of the campus, Professor Sian Frempong, also gave an outline of programs offered at the campus.
Currently, we are running a med lab, but next academic year, we are going to have become accounting, become finance, home economics, and then med lab. Yeah, we've come to stay, so we are inviting people to come. We're going to do admission, and we need more students, so we invite people who want UCC certificate. We want them to know that we now have a campus in Kumasi at Dominase.
From Dominase, Abigail Lisol Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
The Ashanti region is seeing a marginal increase in reported cases of attempted suicide over the last 3 years. The region saw its attempted suicide cases increase from 18 in 2023 to 63 in 2025 between January and June over the same period. But health authorities are more concerned about what they say are deliberate attempts by the public to conceal information on suicides. Ashanti Regional Health Director Dr. Fred Adomako-Boateng told a World Suicide Day commemorative event the situation calls for concerted efforts by all to end the canker. There's more on the following report.
The Ashanti region saw 18 attempted suicide cases recorded between January and June 2023, which increased to 63 in 2025, with completed cases increasing from 5 to 7 over the same period. 79% of the cases were recorded among men. Ashanti Regional Health Director Dr. Fred Admoko-Boateng says, despite attempted suicide being decriminalized, stigmatization remains high in the region. His concerns come as the region sees a marginal rise in mental disorders and suicide-related incidents, especially among the youth and the working age.
The Ashanti region, as one of the most populous regions in the country, has witnessed a concerning marginal rise in cases of mental health disorders and suicide-related incidents, particularly among the youth and working age population. Many of these tragedies are linked to depression, substance abuse, financial distress, social isolation, and stigma surrounding mental illness. The year under review, which is January to June 2025, 66 people have attempted to committing suicide in their region. That is almost 12% of the total number of 558 in country.
Despite what appears to be low figures, health authorities are not enthused. Ashanti Regional Psychiatrist Dr. Francis Opon says religious and cultural beliefs, family status and other factors are pushing more people to conceal vital information on suicide.
In my hometown, it's a taboo for you to kill yourself. When you kill yourself, your corpse is not brought to even the church building for burial service or even to your own house for family to perform any rites. So because of this, it's a disgrace to a family, to any family. And so families want to avoid this disgrace. So they will actively and deliberately try and conceal suicide.
Meanwhile, health authorities have announced plans to expand mental health services to all parts of the region through integration of mental health into primary health care. More health personnel are being trained in mental health and suicide risk, while a dedicated VVIP ward has been set up at the Kumasi South Hospital under its Employee Assistance Program to cater for health practitioners' mental health. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Oyementeria reporting.
Away from that, after years of uncertainty and collapse, the Prestea Bogoso mine has a new investor. Heath Goldfield, a Ghanaian company, has taken over operations with a promise to restore the historic mine to full capacity. Now, our correspondent Inathalia Kwanza visited the site and reports on what could be a turning point for the mine and its people.
It has been years of demonstrations, agitation, and desperate appeal by residents of Prestea, Bogoso, and surrounding communities, all centered around one demand: a revival of the Prestea Bogoso mine. Now, the government has given approval for a Ghanaian company, Heath Goldfields Bogoso Prestea Limited, to take over operations.
It was against this backdrop of despair and following the termination of the lease of the previous leaseholder by the government of Ghana that Heath Goldfields Limited stepped in to revive Bogoso Prestea mine. Guided by our purpose to enrich lives through sustainable gold mining, and by our values of safety, integrity, innovation, respect, sustainability, and prosperity.
Above ground, the scale of decline is visible. Heavy mining equipment sits corroded by years of neglect, their once powerful engines now choked by rust. But here too, signs of renewal are taking shape. Workers are seen repainting machinery, scrapping off the rust, and restoring engines that have not roared to life for years.
What is going on currently are a couple of things, which all are geared towards reopening and commencing production. Where we are standing is the process plants,
We have a lot of activities, including testing of pumps, testing of power supply installations, corrosion protection, replacement of weak structures to improve the structural integrity of the plants, refurbishing work on the tailings dam to make sure that we have adequate space to deposit when we start production.
But it is underground where the story of decline most haunting. The tunnels are dark, narrow, and damp. Rust eats away at steel supports. The faint beam from a miner's helmet is the only light breaking the darkness.
On the other side, which is the Prestia underground and open pits, when you go there, you see a lot of activities, getting water pumps, further improvements, further additional pumps being installed to boost the rate of pumping. We having a dialogue with our community leadership and stakeholders to get rid of intruders that have encroached on certain part of our concessions and our active mining areas, so that we can get a space and then reopen the mine.
For residents and contractors, the return of activity here is a lifeline. Many say the collapse of the mine left them struggling to survive.
They should allow some of their concessions to the community. They can supervise it. Through the supervision, I think they will do responsible small-scale mining.
We all can attest to it that Hit-Go is not in operation, but from the go of things, as a true indigenous of Prestia, I know that when they are given the opportunity to work, that will help us.
For Joy News, in Athalia Kwansa, Prestia.
Let's find out what's happening in the world of business now. And the Association of Ghana Industries says its members are awaiting some incentives from government as part of the 24-hour economy to help accelerate growth of the industry sector. Now, their comment follows Ghana's economy expanding by 6.3% in the second quarter of 2025, largely driven by the services sector, while the industry sector witnessed a sharp slowdown, growing by just 2.3%. Speaking to Joy Business, Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries, Chonam Akpelo, noted that government intervention will help increase the industry sector contribution to the overall GDP of the country.
Industry naturally is having this slow growth because, mind you, we just had a new government from January. And they are now rolling out the government's main policy, which is the 24-hour economy program. And much of it is yet to be unpacked. And so a lot of the industrialists are waiting to see how this program grows to be able to put in the appropriate investment. And so really, we're waiting for the incentives. We're waiting to understand the incentives that government has to offer. And so I believe that this will partly account for why there's a much more slower growth in industry. Our hope is that by the time this program is properly rolled out and by the time we have a full comprehension of the incentive package, it would really ginger our industrialists to be able to put in the needed investment to expand the industrial components of the GDP.
Now, IC Research, a leading market research firm, is predicting now the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana may cut the rate for a second consecutive time from 25% to 22% at the September 2025 meeting. The following report has more.
According to IC Research, the current inflation with a nominal policy rate of 25% translates to an ex-post real policy rate of 13.5%, which could widen to 15.4% in September 2025 without a cut in the policy rate. This sustains the vast window of another deep rate cut at the September 2025 MPC meeting. The IC Research said the cautious stance on utility tariff risk could result in a 3% cut in the policy rate to 22%. Inflation has been subsiding, falling to 11.5% in August 2025. This was the lowest price momentum since October 2021. At the current level, headline inflation screens below the authorities' end 2025 target of 11.9%. The Monetary Policy Committee last cut its policy rate by 300 basis points to 25% in July 2025. The committee will hold its 126th regular meetings from September 15 to September 17 to review developments in the economy. The meetings will conclude with a press conference on Wednesday, September 17, to announce the decision of the committee.
And that's it for the business update. I'm Noella Karaniali. We've got sports coming up next. Stay tuned in.
Good morning. It's time for sports on the AM show. My name is Haruna Mubarak. Now, President John Mahama says the government is working to provide modern sports infrastructure in regions without standard stadia, with plans to replicate the Takwa Goldfields model nationwide. Speaking at a press engagement on Wednesday night, he revealed the Ministry of Sports and Recreation is currently designing and costing the projects.
We promise to build stadia in all the new regions and the regions that don't have modern stadia. So as I speak, the Ministry of Sports and Recreation is doing the design and the costing for the new stadia. And Upper East is one of the regions that has been captured to receive a new sports stadium. That also is under the big push. What we're doing is Takwa Goldfields built a stadium, a standard stadium, for their football activities, and I was surprised to learn it costs about $13 million. When government of Ghana has built stadia, it costs hundreds of millions of dollars. But for those of you who have gone to Takwa and see their stadium, there's a standard stadium, and I think it takes about 5,000 or more, or is it 10,000 people? And so if they could build it for 13 million, government too should be able to do same. So we've asked them to find out the architects, the designers, and everybody who did that stadium so that we can replicate it in our other regions that don't have a stadium.
Now, former GALCA chairman Kujo Fiano is calling on the Ghana Football Association to clarify whether current President Keto Kreku can seek a third term following last month's amendment to extend eligibility to 3 terms. The Great Olympics Board member opposed the proposal, but Congress overwhelmingly approved it.
That's democracy. If the majority are saying this is what they want, Ghanaians from day one, they know my position, and I've not departed from that. That is my opinion. I think that 8 years is long enough for one to deliver. But if the members think otherwise, for now, there are some technical issues that there are some knotty points that we need to unlock. Is it applicable to the incumbent now, or is going to be it is going to be implemented in future? So these are the knotty areas that we need clarification on. Once the clarification comes, whatever we will do will be in the supreme interest of the country.
So who would need to do that clarification?
We have stakeholders. You see, football is not for only, at the end of the day, only the football people, as we say. We talk about national security. The safety of people who come to the stadium is a national issue. So, we are living in a country where government is the one that pays most of our bills. Okay, so they will have a say. They haven't spoken yet to say whether they are for it or they are not for it. If government speaks, it carries weight. So let's get there. Now the football people have taken it. They have the right to take that that decision. But the implementation is something different. Let's wait until we get there.
So would you call on government to make his stance known on this?
Oh, I'm saying that they are aware. What the pros and the cons. What others were. Those who think alike. Those who think that the 8 years is enough. Those who think they need more years. When we start, it's just like reading a budget. the budget is out, it's accepted. But now we'll go into the nitty-gritties. That's why I'm saying there are some technicalities we need to look at. Is it immediate? Is it the incumbent who is going to benefit from it? Because if you remember at a point in time, he said he hadn't said he wanted to go 3 years, 3 terms. Even the GFA at a point in time denied that there was something like that on paper. So let's when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it.
But people like Dr. Nyautamakulu said they will fight that. So if he were to take up this issue and was asking for support, would you back him?
Tell him to count on me, that I'll support him whether rain or shine.
Away from football, Team Ghana's 8th athlete contingent has arrived in Tokyo ahead of the World Athletics Championship, which begins this Saturday in the Japanese capital. Now, the team will participate in 5 events, including the men's 4x100 meters relay. Now, Joy Sports editor Fentio Tahiru Fentio has more.
Ghana's 8 athletes will compete in 5 events. 4 of them will compete in 4 individual events. Abdurrashid Saminu, the individual 100-meter record holder in Ghana, he will compete in the 100 meters alongside the former record holder in the event, Benjamin Azamati. The 2 of them will test their mettle against the world's best, including the Olympic champion and defending champion Noah Lyles and Kishan Thompson. Samini in particular has been running really well this season. He broke the national record twice and he has the 7th best time in the world this year. Azamati has also run consistently, took his season from the US off to Europe and run in a couple of Diamond League races, and he's had a lot of races under his legs and he should be going to Tokyo very ready. Ibrahim Husseini is going to run in the 200 meters as well. Alexa Mankwa is the record holder in the 800 meters. He will also participate in the event. It's the first time he's returning to the World Championships since 2022 when he was disqualified in very dramatic circumstances. Then you've got Rose Yeboah, the record holder in the women's high jump, who happens to be the only female on the team. She's had a moderately successful season in the NCAA. Last year, she won the competition and then went to the Olympic Games, didn't make the final. This year, she finished 2nd at the NCAA Championships, and she's been training a lot before this competition, so we'll see how she does. If all goes well, she's more than capable of making the final. The 4x100 meter relay team is where a lot of people have very high hopes for Ghana. At the Olympic Games last year, the baton change didn't go too well and the team didn't make the final. Before that, they had made the final of every single major global championships. So they will be looking to get back to that particular form here in Tokyo. And they have had about 10 days of pre-tournament camping in Texas, working on their baton changes and what have you. So a lot of work has gone into their preparations, and there will be hope that Joseph Paul Amoa, who has been running in this team since 2019, Azamati as well, they will be key in helping Ghana make the final and at least compete for a place on the podium. The GOC, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, held a virtual meeting with the team to encourage them, but all of them are in Tokyo and fully ready for the competition, which starts on Saturday, September 13 and runs all the way to September 21. So it's all systems go in Tokyo, and Team Ghana is ready to lift the flag of Ghana high yet again.
In Ghana, golf has long carried the tag of a men's sport, but a new wave of women are stepping onto the greens and rewriting the story. There's more in this special report. Golf is a sport of precision, patience, and strategy. A typical game can last anywhere from 2 to 5 hours as players navigate long fairways, reading greens, and striking balls toward a small hole using few strokes as possible. For years, golf in Ghana has carried the label of a gentleman's game. But at the heart of these lush greens, something different is happening. One of the driving forces behind this movement is Kusmang, lady captain of the Achimota Golf Club and co-founder of the Fairway Golf Academy.
It all started with kids, so we wanted the kids to learn how to play golf. Myself then, I wasn't interested. That was back, I think, 2020. So I was taking them to the range to go and learn. They had a coach there. So I would take them every day, I would take them every day. And then the coach would be like, but now, madam, you always come, bring your children, you sit down. Why are you not playing? Why don't you want to learn? And then I told them, oh, this game is so boring. It's a boring game. It's for old people. It's for, all those kind of, theories that we put behind. So I used to think golf is for rich, golf is for, yeah. So, and then the coach kept insisting. And then one day I just said, okay, let me try. So he gave me a club and then I tried and that was it.
Kusmang only picked up golf in 2021, but today she plays with her husband and children and leads by example. For others like Fafali, golf is a game full of lessons.
I think for me, it calms me down. Like I like sports that calm me down. It looks simple, but it's a lot of mental, and then because you do a lot of walking, also helps with your cardio and ability to exercise. Yeah. So for me, it's more like a game that calms me down, and then you get to learn more about yourself as well. Because in every hole, it's a different challenge. So you get to learn more about. So you get to be patient with yourself, because every hole teaches you something, and it's not. You can play the same course every day, and every day your game is different.
And for veteran golfer Sarah, it began with tennis, but it's now golf that has become a lifelong passion.
Because I was in New Zealand, I used to play tennis, lawn tennis. And you see, play tennis, you need a partner. And the golf, you can play alone. So that's why I started to play golf in New Zealand, yeah.
Clementia Tete may not be a club member, but she found joy and wellness since picking up the sport earlier this year.
So I've been playing, let's say, regularly since March, and it's getting better every day. It is an interesting sport. You get to meet a lot of people, and then you get to have a good walk, a good workout, and so I'd like to encourage more ladies to take the game up.
Beyond Achimota's fairways, the Fairway Golf Academy, co-founded by 3 women, including Kusmang, is shaping the future of golf in Ghana. Their target is women and children. It's a fresh approach in the sport traditionally reserved for the elite, but now these barriers are being broken down.
We want to encourage women to come and play golf. It's a lovely game. Until you start, you wouldn't know how beautiful this game is. So women, hey, come and play golf, yes. When you come to Achimota Golf Club, you will network, you have quality people to spend your time with. Yes, you can have meetings here. Don't say that, oh, it's 4 hours and it's going to take all my time. No, people have meetings while playing.
Men are really nice. They're very accommodating. Yeah, they treat us like princesses here. So yeah. So you can come because the guys are really open. They would help you play. They would support you.
Golf is no longer just a gentleman's game. At Achimota and beyond, women are now attempting to rewrite the rules. Haruna Mubarak, Achimota Golf Club, for Joy Sports. That's your sports on the AM show. My name is Haruna Mubarak.
So good morning once again and welcome to the AM show. Well, this is where Ghana discusses how we can all progress. Joining me on the AM, the news review today is, and I'll share those with you, but let me remind you that the AM show is sponsored by Kenoga Company Limited and Syntex Tanks. So Ghana, let's talk water tanks. Do you know the secret to real water storage? It's simple. If your water tank doesn't have the tortoise on it, then it's not the correct tank. That's right. The tortoise tank, Syntex tank, is the champion of water tanks. Why? Because it is strong, durable, and built to handle Ghanaian weather. Rain or shine, Syntex tank has got your back. So go outside, look at your tank now. If it doesn't have a tortoise on it, then you know what? It's time to upgrade. Join the Syntex tank family today and enjoy water storage that's tough like a tortoise. Call 0244 335168. 0244 335168 to buy now, or find one of our 400 agents nationwide. You can also shop online at syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, air strong, air tough. So let's get into what the papers are reporting today and the issues that are coming up in this beautiful country of ours. Wherever you're watching, if you are in Liberia, good morning and thanks for joining us here in Ghana. If you are in Rwanda, thank you for tuning in to Joy News. Nanaya Sapong is a member of the Movement for Change, and he has joined me in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
As all is well.
Grace has found us.
Okay.
You look good.
Thank you. You too. I saw you fixing some breakfast for some people back there, which is good. So thank you. Well, but it's good that you are able to serve people. They say people who are servants. If you are not a servant, you cannot become a leader.
But of course, I mean.
So preparing breakfast for people is something I should comment.
We have a responsibility as a people. You understand? If as a management student, I have always said that if you would want to be a good manager and to be able to lead well, servanthood is most appropriate.
Exactly.
And it's the best field to learn. Jesus did it. He did it by washing the feet of his disciples. And so when your colleagues, when your peers and your junior colleagues are excited when they see you, when they are excited because they know you would add to the job and help them do the job properly in as much as you direct and guide them, I think it is a good thing.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, as we do every day, I'll give you a maximum of 2 minutes. Share with me what's on your mind, and then we'll delve into the matters arising.
What's on my mind are two. Number one, the negative use of our social media. I think that as a nation, we should have a national discourse on it. We have come to a time where our dispensation, where anybody who has access to cheap data, access to microphone and a camera, decides to say whatever he or she wants and go scot-free. All in the name of freedom of speech, and all in the name that the criminal libel law has been repealed. Now, these young, the danger of it is that these are very young people, and they seem to forget that the internet does not forget. It seems to forget that they would also have children that would grow up and would search for what daddy and mommy did when they were young. They seem to forget that the words that they spew out there affect thousands and thousands of people. And I gave an example yesterday when I was saying this, and I said, what triggered the genocide in Rwanda? It was just a one statement by an irresponsible broadcast person, somebody who had access to radio. And I gave an example. People might not be happy with it. We found a young man in this country who went out there to insult the Archbishop, an Archbishop of this country. This person has, this Archbishop has hundreds of branches across the country, thousands of members and affiliates. What do you think would have happened if the members of this church had risen up and said, no, we're going to deal with this young man? But yet, you would find people trying to defend this young man for this level of irresponsibility. And we applaud these people. We have individuals who go insult people just anyhow they want. We say nothing about it. Why? Because we might think that they are wearing political colors. But at the end of the day, would the political color solve the conflict that this level of insult, disrespect, and irresponsibility would generate?
Okay, all right, yeah.
I mean, we need to have a national discourse on it. Shame these people. Yes, I mean, for the past 5-10 years.
But someone would
for the
also say, but someone would also
5-10
say
years,
that when people began and we didn't stop them.
That's what I'm talking about. For the past 5-10 years, all right, we have seen it go on. And these people have used that lane of insults and abuse and irresponsibility to rise into fame. And that is why I'm saying that there should be a national discourse. So that when such individuals are even given opportunities to serve in public offices, there should be a public uproar to push them off.
Well, the president says it's likely that there will be a legislation concerning to govern how social media is operated. So that some of these things can be checked.
We need to.
Okay.
We need to.
So that's Nanaya Sapon. He is with the Movement for Change. Well, we've also been joined in the studio by a former member of parliament for Sekunde in the Western region, a former tourism minister, a former deputy energy minister, lawyer, Andre Japamesa. Bobo!
Yeah. We're a Western caucus.
Yeah, very much. Good morning to our cherished viewers. Those who are watching us.
Great. Usually, good to have you. I think this is the first time we're meeting on.
This is the first time that you host.
Yeah. Apart from what we did in Sky.
Of course.
Anyway, I mean, what we do here is that we do give 2 minutes to our guest to tell us anything they have on their mind before we delve into the real issues. If you don't, I'll move into the real issues that I have.
Oh, do you have sufficient enough time to?
I'll give you just 2 minutes.
All issues.
I'll give you just 2 minutes. If you want to talk about something, then we delve into the issues we have.
I'm sure that the substantive matter that we'll be discussing would be yesterday's
encounter.
Media encounter between the president, Mr. John Mahama. Apart from the flowery speech, which was essentially a repetition of what his ministers had bombarded us with for the past couple of months. I think he did not deal with the issues when the questions actually started coming up.
Oh, really?
He demonstrated a clear betrayal of the trust of the people in his Galamsey fight, where he tells us today, contrary to what he said in opposition, that state of emergency.
Okay. So I'll bring in Bobo shortly. I have the Daily Guide newspaper here. On the front page, it says, Baumia slams NDC over power abuse, 4 arrested with 315 parcels of Indian hemp. GTech shuts down 149 unaccredited distance learning centers. MP, regional minister clash over slum demolition. And okay, coincidentally, it comes with a photograph of the MP of 2nd Blay Nyamiche Ama. So that's there from the Daily Guide newspaper. The Daily Democrat, government demolishes illegal Trasaco wall. Islamic school children happy. Gold Board reports $6 billion small-scale exports. Stakeholders warn investors over Adamu's mine sale. PRC engages media on tariff review. Now, with the Ghanaian Times, biodiversity destruction, Ghana loses $520 million annually, according to the UNDP. Fire raises 8 houses, warehouse at Latabio Koshi and struggling SOEs need government's attention, according to ICU. Economy expands 6.3% in Q2 of 2025. Well, because Lawyer Mensah started from there, I think it's better we start from the president's encounter with the media. On Galamsey, there were some questions posed to him, the president. Kojo Yankson, my colleague Kojo Yankson, who's a Super Morning Show host, asked him some questions about Galamsey, water turbidity, and how the fight against Galamsey doesn't seem to be moving anywhere. Let's listen to the president's responses to the Galamsey questions. When we come back, my guest will handle the issues.
I never deluded myself that the fight against illegal gold mining or Galamsey was going to be an event. I mean, definitely, there's no magic wand. The decay has eaten so much over the last 8 years that it's going to take a lot of work to be able to overcome it. And I didn't expect that in 18 months we'll declare victory in the fight. As the livelihoods of about 4 million Ghanaians is on small-scale mining. And so it's going to be a process. It's not going to be an event. But we will not give up. We have a determination to get on top of it. The Gold Board was introduced as part of reforms. And if the Gold Board was not introduced, those who were taking the profits from the small-scale mining sector were the foreign traders who were taking that money away. In 6 months, we have exported over $6 billion. About $4 billion of that money was going to go into the private or foreign traders. And so the first thing is you shut the stable door so that the horse doesn't escape, which is what we've done. So if it's from illegal sources, it's from legal sources. At least it's our land that is being destroyed. So let us get the benefit of it instead of foreign traders. So that's the first thing. But if you go and read the Gold Board law, it has a requirement for tracking and tracing. And as I speak, the Gold Board is working with an organization to put on a track and trace system. And so they're going to see those who have legitimate license requirements so that they can assist them in responsible mining so that we can buy that gold off them. Once we do tracking and tracing, it's in our interest because then we can export under LBMA and we'll get more profit from exporting under LBMA. So the Gold Board is not just about buying gold, it's also about financing responsible small-scale mining. And mind you, small-scale mining is not illegal in this country. It's provided for in our laws. It's just that in many cases, we've not even trained the miners about what responsible mining is. You just see anybody who gets an excavator just goes anywhere and starts digging and washing. But small-scale mining takes place in Australia. It takes place in Canada. And so as I speak, we are organizing a trip for the Small Scale Miners Association to Australia. Australia has given us an invitation to bring them to come and see how small-scale mining is done without destroying the environment. And so that's something we're going to take an advantage of. And the Gold Board is leading, and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources are leading that charge. Only recently, our Minister for Lands and Natural Resources came back from Australia. And so we need to train these small-scale miners. The gold is a blessing that God gave us. It's a natural resource that God gave us to make life better for our people.
So that's one of the responses the president gave on Galamsey. There are several others. We'll be bringing them to you in the course of this segment. Well, Mensah, so that's the president there on Galamsey. You were making a point on your microphone.
Yeah, I was making a point that very disappointing. As far as I'm concerned, and as far as many Ghanaians will recall, the Galamsey conversation was very key in the run-up to the 2024 general election.
Yeah.
And in fact, we had Catholic Bishops' Conference, trade unions, rising up, civil society organizations, rising up, that Akufo-Addo government had failed in his fight against Galamsey. And was making demands on government to act. then candidate Mahama and his NDC jumped into the fray. Of course, because they knew that Ghanaians had forgotten that only as soon as 2012, 2016, Mr. Mahama was president and had woefully failed in his fight against illegal mining. I heard the phrase or the name Aisha Juan for the first time during Mr. Mahama's era. In fact, when President Akufo-Addo came into government, Galamsey had peaked to the point where he had to set up the interministerial committee in his first year to try to deal with the menace of illegal mining. So it wasn't new.
Because it was topical during the 2016 election.
Absolutely, without a doubt. So I'm saying that Mr. Mahama knew the difficulty that he had encountered in his attempt to fight it when he was president during his first term. Yet, in President Akufo-Addo's era, he jumped on the fray, made all sorts of commitments, made all sorts of promises. They called on the president to declare a state of emergency. He vowed to revoke a license for LI 2462. What happened to it?
They're working on it now.
After how many months? After he had gone to vary it, and because of public outcry, he's now promising that they are working on it to revoke. How long does it take to revoke an LI? How long does it take? He's been in office for 9 months. Then he meets the press and looks in the eyes of the people of Ghana and tells us that state of emergency is not necessary. I was shocked. Completely scandalized that the president could look in the eyes of Ghanaians and tell us today, when only in October, November, he was saying that all it took was for the president to declare a state of emergency. He having been president before, at the time, he didn't know that Galamsey straddled several districts and that essentially was impossible at the time to call on the president to declare a state of emergency. He didn't know.
But wasn't that your position when you were in government, when they were calling?
No, so I agree. That's why we lost. We're saying that it was difficult to do that because of the nature of the... But he had been president before. If it was you or me who hadn't been president before, who was making those demands at the time, then I could grant him some benefit of the doubt. But this is a man who had been president before. He had been in the same position that President Akufo-Addo was in. He jumped on the bandwagon and made a demand on the president then to declare a state of emergency. So I would have thought that, consistent with his own belief that President Akufo-Addo should declare a state of emergency, they will help in resolving the Galamsey menace. When he becomes president, like he promised, he was going to do it. Today, look, all the other things that he said, I mean, of course, his speech was flowery, like I said, but when it came to the substance, when the questions came, you could hear the clear inconsistencies and the contradictions. In one instance, he says that, well, I'm not going to go to the capital markets because we've lived 8 or 9 months without borrowing. That's not true.
We'll come there. We'll come to the capital market, but we just want to deal with the Galamsey issue.
Yeah, so the president has failed. He's disappointed the greater majority of the people of Ghana who repose some amount of trust that he claiming that he's gone home for 8 years, he's reformed, he's lent, packaging, settings, as some Gen Zs will call it, to deceive the people of Ghana into voting for him again.
But won't you give him the benefit of the doubt now that when you were in government, you saw the realities?
Yes.
He probably didn't.
How?
He's coming to government and has seen it.
How? I cannot give Mr. Mahama, the president, any said benefit of the doubt. Like I said, he had won the cup of the presidency before.
Yes, but
if it was a new candidate, then I could grant him that benefit of the doubt. Maybe he didn't know. Mr. Mahama knew at the time that the commitments that he was making to the people of Ghana was, as we would say in our fanticasm, bentehu. He was only throwing dust in the eyes of the people.
No, but the way they...
Purely for political gain. That's it.
Because the dimension Galamsey had taken...
And I tell you why, again. He legitimizes it.
How?
He says that we're earning so much money from Galamsey.
He didn't say Galamsey, he said small-scale mining.
But small-scale mining, yesterday I was on a show with Honorable Aka from Amenfi, former MP for Amenfi. He says Galamsey and small-scale mining are the same.
No, it's not.
But how is it not?
It is not.
How is it not? How
because
is it
small-scale miners...
It's the small-scale miners who have been given licenses.
Yes.
Who are using their licenses, importing excavators, buying excavators, leasing excavators to destroy our water bodies.
No, but
don't sit here and try to rationalize or distinguish.
No, I'm not rationalizing.
Because it's a very thin line.
But lawyer,
it's a very thin line between small-scale mining and illegal mining.
Yes, but...
In fact, the two
box all of them
but they've become one.
No.
For all intents and purposes.
No.
Go to the ground. Ask your media colleagues, Erastus, who's been very active in that space. They are one and the same, or they become one and the same. He says it's better that government earns revenue, whether the gold is from legitimate mining sources or illegitimate mining sources, than for foreigners. Why? The foreigners, were they not supposed to be regulated? Were they not? And he's telling you, and look, he said this when the Catholic bishops met him immediately after the election, right at the very beginning. It is something that they are set out to do, that look, this is something that we can generate money from. So come, beef up PMMC into creating a gold board and aggregate all the gold from whatever source so that they can shore up the currency and all that.
But I'll disagree with you for trying to say that small-scale mining is same as illegal mining. It is not.
Of course, the definitions are different.
We have, even in practice,
we may kid ourselves.
Because we know people who have legitimate licenses to operate small-scale mining companies.
I agree.
And they are doing excellently well.
I agree.
So you cannot compare them to illegal
miners.
miners.
I agree. But I'm saying...
And those who import excavators, they are not... It's not only the illegal small-scale miners. There are people who import excavators who are not...
But that's why I brought in to say some are leasing. That's why I brought in. People are importing. People have the wherewithal to import.
Importing who are not small-scale miners.
But they lease it to miners.
Illegal miners.
Do they inspect their licenses before they lease their equipment?
I cannot tell.
Yeah. So I'm speaking from people who have said from their own practical experience. Thankfully, Galamsey or mining does not take place in my constituency where I come from. But I was on the show, Belgium, yesterday with Honorable Aka. He said, there was a newspaper front page, I think it was graphic. He said that the definition really is immaterial because practically on the ground.
Really?
But I get it. That we have mining companies not in the nature and size of the Newmonts or the Anglo-Goats of this world, who are categorized as small scale, who are running legitimate businesses. But I'm talking the people who are sitting in our rivers.
Oh, yes. As for that, nobody gives licenses for someone to...
Of course, nobody gives licenses, but they have licenses that abut rivers that then extend into these things. You never know. Okay, we need to interrogate it to see whether indeed and in fact, none of the people who are operating in these river bodies have no licenses to mine. And they are relying on those licenses because obviously these river guards that they train, okay, when they go, do they even have the competency to even determine which license is legitimate, the contours of the boundaries of the licenses?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm saying that the president himself inadvertently admitted that his government was supporting these activities from taking place.
Okay. All right then. I'll bring in Nana, but because you're a lawyer, let me just clear this with you. Now, when someone is given a license to say you cannot mine 200 or 100 meters to a river body, and the person does so, hasn't the person crossed the legal limit?
Certainly he has.
Yes. So it means that we cannot even assume that...
No, but of course, nobody gives license. But you make it look as if the mining takes place only in river bodies.
No.
But illegal mining takes place. People mine without licenses.
Yes,
so
that's true.
That's the point, yes.
I just want us to clear that nobody, those in the river bodies, none of them.
Yeah, nobody gives licenses for mining in rivers.
Yes.
But people are actually mining in the rivers. And the gold that they are mining from these rivers are being sold to the gold board. Okay. And the president says it's okay for gold board to purchase this gold, regardless of where it's coming from.
But he put it in context, though.
What was the context that he put it in? That as opposed to finding its way through the foreigners. So we won't regulate them. We'll allow them to mine so that we buy it to show up our reserves, correct?
Anyway, let me bring in Anna. Anna, what's your take on the response the president gave there?
Thank you. I got a bit excited when the former MP was making some of the points he's making, but we call a spade and say it as it is. There is a clear definition and a distinction between what an illegal mining, Galamsey, is from what a small-scale mining is. I would agree with him if he says that most of these small-scale miners abuse the opportunity they are given and the certificates and licenses they are given. And so at a point, you would want to term them as illegal miners. It is just like a driver who is driving with a driver's license and tomorrow the license is expired and forgets to renew and is on the road. You are driving without license. So if they are arresting people, you would be arrested. When you are given a license to operate as a small-scale miner, it is given for a period. You are given what to do and what not to do. The size of the concession which you are given is also taken into consideration. And so if the concession is, say, concession A, and it is divided into two, I, or 3, and that license is given to you to operate in I, okay? When you extend it to II, it makes the operations on the II illegal, you understand? And that makes it Galamsey. And so you would notice that sometimes most people and most of these small-scale miners go into some of these areas. Joe, when you talk about these, what's the name, river guards who have been sanctioned to go and fix or serve as, what is the name, watchdogs. That is how I put them, because if you look at their activities and their rules of engagement, you will notice that they are seen or they act more as community guards who are supposed to transfer or inform authorities when they see illegal miners around or people trying to encroach in places where they are not supposed to. And so that is the main work of these river guards. But could you just a quick one? When you have bought a land by the roadside, I believe that the Highways Authority have a distance where you cannot use. They have a certain measurement. I have forgotten the measurement. The engineers will know. The land is yours, yes, but you should know that you are not the only user of the land. And so if you build without considering that distance from the road to your property, and there is a need for a demolition, it would affect you as much as the land is yours. You get it? And it happens everywhere when you have bought lands for whether projects or mining whatsoever. So let us be considerate and let us know that what is illegal is illegal, whether it is yours or it is not yours. Once it is illegal, once it affects other lives, it is not yours. And so we just leave it as such. Now, when it comes to Galamsey, we are looking at the political will of a particular administration putting in to fight or not to fight the menace. Now, are we able to say that indeed the John Dramani Mahama administration, which lands natural resources being led by Ama Kofi Boah, has demonstrated a political will in the fight of Galamsey? Personally, I would say yes. Why? And I'll give you reasons. Number one, we seated around this table would agree that some time back we had suggested that there were too many task forces across. I mean, from 2016 down, you can count a number of task forces that were launched, some by the police, some by the Minerals Commission, some by the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry itself, some by Ministry of Environment, and we even had a secretariat at a point at the office of the president that was dealing with the issues of Galamsey. Ama Kofi Boah came and we argued with him and said, listen, consolidate all of these task forces and give them a terms of reference. Why? Because some of these persons even go onto the field, and they cannot identify the documents, the difference between which one is Lands Commission, which one is Minerals Commission. I sat where Honorable is seated today, and I made that statement. If you recall, you were seated where I am seated now, and I told that some of these people, they know nothing about these documentations. And so we applauded the Honorable Minister when he formed the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, consolidating all of these forces in the fight of Galamsey. We had 288 forest reserves, out of which 44 of these reserves had been taken over by Galamseyers. When Amakofe took office, he came and said they had reclaimed all these forest reserves for the exception of 9.
Our reporter Erastus challenged that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we made a statement and we said, listen, you cannot come and tell Ghanaians that you have taken back all of these reserves and that there are some that are no-go areas. Then what is the military and the other things we have given you the use for it? Weeks after, he came back and they agreed and they all testified that the 9, which was remaining, had been claimed. And I think that your reporter came back and said that indeed he can also attest, if I stand to be corrected, that almost all of those forest reserves have been taken back. The Galamseyers are being fought.
No, he challenged the number. I remember I spoke to him and he was asking the minister should tell us exactly, should give us evidence as to how they have reclaimed those. Look, he challenged the numbers.
That was before the submission in Parliament. That was before the submission in Parliament. After he made the submission in Parliament, the reporter has not come back.
Oh.
I'm not doubting Erastus' work. Not at all.
He's challenged all the time they put out the numbers.
Well, but this is the information we have. And at least we have seen the fight that they have gone, the readings they have done on.
But if the fight, as you say, has really garnered some positive outcome, how come the turbidity levels of water bodies have risen? I mean, yesterday we were hearing of the dam in the central region that the minister says it should be closed down because he doesn't see how you can process water from there.
We made a statement from the Movement for Change. We said that all small-scale mining activities ought to be stopped at least for a period of 1 year.
And that has not been done.
That is a proposal we had made. Why did we make this proposal? Number one, that we are able to audit all the licenses that has been issued at least for the past 10 to 15 years. Number two, so that we allow these water bodies to cleanse up. Then we import technology that would help to clean these water bodies. Number three, it would allow us the opportunity to be able to distinguish between those who are illegally mining and those who are legally doing small scale. So that Honorable will not come and say that illegal mining and small scale mining is the same thing. You understand me? Because me from the outside, if you tell me that they are the same, I would want to look at the dictionary definitions of it.
He was referring to what a colleague MP who is in a Galamsey endemic area told him yesterday.
That's what I'm saying, that so that we, those who are not there, would be able to distinguish properly. But if you would ask me, these steps are being taken. You understand? And in 2024, I mean, I think...
So you say from where you say it, you see that the war on Galamsey is being...
That's what I'm saying. In 2024...
Is that what you're saying?
The fight for Galamsey is ongoing and we see the evidence of it.
Really?
That's what I'm saying, that in 2024, in February, he would agree with me, his presidential candidate also made a certain proposal which I think almost all the presidential candidates at the time had made. That is to give training, all right, to these small-scale miners so that they do not destroy nature. Yesterday, during the president's presentation, he would attest, he mentioned that they have secured an opportunity in Australia to go train these small-scale miners. I mean, if we would want to continue to do politics with the fight for Galamsey, of Galamsey, we would not go anywhere.
But are they not also right to look at what is happening to say, okay, You said you declare a state of emergency. You haven't done that.
Good. Now, on the state of emergency, you brought my attention there.
The fight against Galamsey, the Galamsey is still ongoing.
Would you also agree with me that the Galamsey sites, most of these water bodies have been declared a security zone, a no-go area?
But declaration doesn't mean that people are not there. People are still.
What I'm saying that, are you aware that they have been declared no-go
long ago,
security zones?
Long ago.
And the president had also stated that the issue of Galamsey is of a national emergency. These are all security statements that have been made by the president.
Are we looking for statement or looking for action?
But that is what has been happening. Are we not in agreement with the president that the fight for Galamsey is ongoing and that they're doing it?
All right. I hear.
We are having a discussion.
Yeah,
if we think that it is getting worse than it was before, then we present it as it is.
But that's what the CSOs in that area have said. The CSOs in the area of,
because I'll give you an example. Like with the revocation of the law.
People
we all have said
that the situation is getting worse.
We all have said.
Suleiman Brahma is quoted to have said that Akufo-Addo fought Galamsey better than Mr. Mahama is doing.
We all have said. We've all spoken about the revocation of the LI 2462. If I stand to be corrected, which was amended. Now, he's still in Parliament. He has been in Parliament before. He knows that the revocation of an LI cannot just be done. Why do I say this? The LI we are talking about does not only regulate mining. The LI is an EPA LI. You understand me? If you take it out without putting in another, and he's a lawyer, you will know that they will operate in vacuum.
Before you invite
the Attorney General, the acting Minister for Environment,
let me move on.
had stated the steps which has been taken, that an LI is currently being sent to Parliament, all right, for them to look at it in replacement of the one that is being revoked.
Okay. So my question to him is, since he is in the strong defense of the government,
is very mischievous. Please, no.
All the things that you said is completely.
So should I say what?
But
you
it's
want
fine.
To say?
No, not at all.
Of course. So
but I want to ask you. To ask you. Did President Mahama not know that it takes a certain process to revoke an LI at the time that he was making the commitment to revoke it when he becomes president? 8 months down the line, are you suggesting to the good people of Ghana who are listening to you this morning that it takes 8 months to do that?
How many months does it
take? Two, please. 1 day.
It takes a day.
One.
You should have done it. You were in Parliament.
But of course.
You were in Parliament.
The Akufo-Addo government did not do it.
He's admitted.
So allow somebody who wants to take his time to do it.
Take his time until when? I want to know. How long?
You are in Parliament.
So if I say you are defending the government, admit it and let's make progress.
Okay.
Because the reason why...
You are in Parliament.
One of the reasons why we lost the election was that Ghanaians felt...
You are in
they bought
for
into
8
the
years.
NDC. Of course, we're in government for 8 years. Mahama was president for 4 years before that. He was vice president for 4 years prior to that.
On
please.
When you're talking, I didn't talk. So when I'm get my time.
You finish your time. I'm bringing to you.
I'm not done.
Thank you. Let me bring you.
I want to know.
2016, it was a topic.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me.
But he's been interjecting.
You've made your point.
You've made your point.
You've made your point.
You have the one when I make reference to you defending the government, then you jumped in.
Of course, you don't say what you don't know.
So let me make my point.
No, so let me learn first.
Let me make my point.
Let me learn first.
You are the one who is interjecting.
No, please.
Mr. Host.
Okay, so that
it's fine. I have not learned.
All of you, it's okay.
You don't. I want to know your way through on a platform like this.
I'll give you all of you another time.
You don't bulldoze your way through like that.
David Bondi is here. He's MP for Chifo. And that's David. I think your place there's Galamsey, right?
Yeah.
So you listen to the president there. He says, "We'll take the small scale miners to Australia for them to be trained," and the fact that declaration of a state of emergency will be quite a difficult thing to be done. I mean, how did you? Of course, I'm not sure you disagree with your president, will you?
Good morning to you.
Good morning, David.
My good friend, lawyer and smart lawyer for that. And my good friend, Movement for Change. The change is already here, so...
So they have to change their name,
I mean,
And so, and good morning to the Ghanaian, good to people of Ghana, and anybody who's watching me from Trifo Timokwa. I know my DC is watching me, and our Council of State member is back from, tour with the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And round of national applause for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for an excellent delivery, unveiling himself within 8 months of his government, to the Ghanaian people, to be asked all sort of questions. And I think that he did extremely well in answering all those questions that were put to him, yesterday and last night. And I was really happy he did. I actually drove from office straight to house and sat by my television and watched him closely. And I mean, this is the first time that you agree with me that within 8 months in government, we're doing so well, and the president unveiling himself for the media to engage him. I think that's a very remarkable, achievement, and we all have to applaud the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Now, the illegal mining, again, I've said, time without number, that nobody will be able to fight illegal mining using guns, cutlasses, and machetes, and burning down excavators, and killing people, shooting them like we saw over the past 8 years, in the Eswa administration. Nobody's going to be able to succeed in fighting Galamsey through that means. You see, the reason I love His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, if you like, I like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama so much, is that he's a realist. I mean, he knows what it is. I like the way he communicates, and he faces the fact and the situation the way it is. My brother, you can sit here and say anything you want to say, but you see, you are not in the bush. You are not in the villages where, these activities actually takes place. And so you can sit here and talk about all the strategies of the LI to be repealed, to be declared a state of emergency, and all those are just standing on television and say, today, Parliament have passed a state of emergency, we've declared state of emergency, and so what? I mean, what happens on the ground is different from what we talk about sometimes on TV, on radio, and all that. And so for me, the reality is what we need to deal with. Yes, it's true that today, nobody says that the fight is over. Galamsey is over. Nobody's saying that. But when you look at the steps that we're taking within 8 months, it tells you that we're fighting and we will win.
What steps?
Okay. So you see the approach of training many water guards. Yeah. The intention is to protect the river bodies.
Which is not novel, right? They did it when...
Hold on. It is the approach and the strategy, the honesty, the commitments that you use in fighting that. If we're able to protect the water bodies and stop all the chamfan machines from entering it, the dredging, that small dredging machines from entering it, the water will be relieved. And the continuous pollution of the water bodies is what brings the stability level to go extremely high. So if we're able to stop that, it's one huge process that is being implemented and will have a results. Very important. So we're doing that, the water bodies. So we're training the water, guards, we're deploying them, we're giving them the necessary equipment. And next thing we want to do is to buy more of these boats on the river, so that they can use, because these boys that are doing this thing, they really can dive. And so if you're a policeman, for example, the last time I engaged the police commander in my constituency, we're having a conversation, he said, look, I'm not able to dive, I'm not a swimmer. These boys, they can swim, they can do everything. And so, that's what it is. And that is the reality.
So we're trying to protect the water bodies, get all of them out of the water bodies. Now the water bodies will be clean, and I have proposed, and I thank His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, that proposal is really working. The importation of chamfang into this country must be stopped. And I think that's one of the things that Transport Minister is actually working really. You know, because you see, no, I'm talking about chamfang.
I'm saying that the Transport Minister is looking at excavators. That's what he's looking at.
Again, so that's another area we'll talk about soon. Now, because you see, when that system is built and you don't have that engine called chamfang on it, the structure you build is meaningless and cannot do anything, cannot dredge the river. That will solve the problem. Getting the chamfang, destroying it, it's another fantastic way of getting it out of the river bodies. Now the excavators. Again, we are in a very huge infrastructural deficit in this country. And the excavator is one of the equipment that we use in constructing our roads, building infrastructure, and so forth and so on. It will come to this country, but our ability to monitor and to regulate which kind of excavator and which institution that we're able to track it and make sure it is not going to be used to destroy our forest, reserves and so forth and so on, is what we have to invest into. And that's what he is doing. For me, sitting here today, I'm a happy person because you see, the delivery, what is going on today. Just last night's questioning and answers that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama granted the Ghanaian people, represented by you, the media, answering questions and apologizing for even forgetting about a particular question, coming back to ask it, the demeanor, the humility, that level of maturity demonstrated by the president. I don't think anybody should sit anywhere and criticize it anyway. But we're Ghanaians, everybody's allowed.
You are in Parliament. The question about how many days should it take for an ally to be?
Let me not sit here and say things that I am not. Look, it doesn't matter how many days. That's not even the point.
No, help us.
To come to Parliament with a bill and to lay the bill and for it to be passed, it takes Mr. Speaker to put the question. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Bill is passed and all that. But the process, again.
Could it have been done within this period?
No, well, I don't have an idea whether it can be done within this period or not.
Have you passed some bills within
the point is that, hold on, the point is
Has Parliament passed bills within
of course, yes. But the point is that that same bill was passed in Parliament to grant license to people to mine in the forest bodies.
All right.
That's the starting point.
Thank you very much.
And so the point is that it will be repealed. And that will stop people from mining in the forest. Because again, within the 8 years that we've been in government, we never granted licenses to anybody to go and mine.
I'm grateful to you. Wouldn't you agree that the fight against Galamsey is a process and not something that will happen once? And if you look at what his explanation, that the water guards, the NIMOS they've set up and all of that is a way of dealing with the menace, and therefore they should be applauded for it.
I agree that fighting Galamsey is a process. And so, obviously, I was not convinced that they were going to be in a position to do it within 2 weeks, as they told us when they were in opposition. Because that's what...
Did they say 2 weeks?
Sam George said it. I did not hear Mr. Mahama disassociate himself from it. Did not hear Sam George say
every comment that all it takes... make on television, Mahama should go around and be disassociating. I mean, how many times...
Can you allow me?
Anyway, go on.
They said, and Sam George is a key member of the government, that any president with executive authority requires not more than 2 weeks to fix the Galamsey problem. Some people believe them. I did not, because I've been in government. They had been in government before. But they made all these statements primarily to deceive Ghanaians into voting for them. So yes, I agree, it's a process. But is the process that they've outlined consistent with their own commitments that they made to the people of Ghana? Certainly not. If for some reason they want to, as it were, walk back the commitments that they made. Let them come out and say so. And then give us a clear pathway that allows us to get there. Because look, Kojo, believe me, when I say that I sincerely wish and hope that the government will succeed, especially in our water bodies. Because it cannot be that Ghanaians drink from the kind of water that you are showing on your screen. So we should work together, and I agree that we should not make it political. They did. You recall in the heat of the fight during the Akufo-Addo administration, Kojo Buahini and in the company of the current MD for
Petroleum
Hub were in mining communities telling the miners that Akufo-Addo is stopping you. Vote for us. When we come, we'll allow you to mine.
But they distanced themselves from those videos.
We saw it. He didn't speak. Kojo Buahini spoke. You didn't see it.
I saw the video.
So the fact that I'm saying that he was in the company of Tony Obin, they were in the video. Tony Obin didn't speak. But Kojo Buahini spoke. Did he say that what he was saying was wrong? Did he? They endorsed it. They played politics with it. And it's coming back to bite them. I'm happy for us to have a bipartisan conversation on how we put in measures to fight this. Because otherwise, 5 years, we may not even get there. At that point, there won't be any water for Ghanaians to drink. And we cannot afford to get there.
Okay. All right. Lawyer Andre Japan.
Just a quick one.
Okay. Now.
See, when you are quick to make bills and turn them into acts, that is what happens. That a reflection of it is what happened with our LI 2462. This is a bill that is supposed to impact and change lives and protect nature and human beings. I believe you and I would agree that it ought to go through proper due diligence. That you would not expect MPs to just browse through it and pass it for it to come for us to criticize and pinpoint issues out of them again. We agree we ought to do it quick. But what is the due diligence? See, Kojo, we have passed this bill before, have we not?
We have.
When it came out, did we not immediately identify mistakes in this bill? The first process the bill went through was as quick as we wanted it. It came out and we saw these mistakes and it's affecting us today.
But Nana, on that basis, let me ask this question. When the NDC was talking about repealing LI 2462, you don't think they knew exactly what they were saying and that they had the lawyers to put together a proper bill within this period to get it repealed?
Lawyers don't put up the bills anyway.
No, I'm just saying that the brains to put up that particular bill and get it to Parliament.
What I may say, majority of us who criticized the bill at the time, the only thing that we saw, and I repeat, the only thing that most of us saw was the aspect of the act that gave the president that mandate to sanction the forest reserves, the granting of the forest reserves. And that was what most of us were fighting. When we took a critical look at it, we realized that no, there were other aspects of it that ought to be dealt with.
Okay.
You understand me? So if we've been able to identify some of these areas, and we say, listen, Mr. Minister, go through it properly. Let Parliament take its time so that we do not come at this point again. And of course, we all talk and we make promises during campaigns. Well, in this country, when somebody said $1 would be jailed and put in somebody's pocket, IGP's pocket, and the key thrown away, did it happen?
He said that when the dollar was coming down. That was the time he said that. When the dollar was coming down, he said, dollar IGP.
So in moving forward,
I'm only asking.
I'm sorry, that wasn't the point.
Oh, really?
At peaks of campaigns, people make statements.
Okay.
That does not mean those individuals should not be held responsible for the statements they make. They ought to be held responsible.
I'm grateful.
Once they make steps in dealing with those statements that they have made or with those promises that they have made. It is the will that they exhibit and the steps they take in achieving those promises they made that should be criticized.
Okay.
Are the steps being taken not good enough?
Okay, I hear. I'm grateful. Let's go for the president again, talking about, because someone asked him a question about why they recalled the IGP task force, and he gave a response on why that was done, because they had set up a coordinating body, and that's why this happened. Let's listen to the president, John Dramani Mahama.
We called off the IGP's anti-galamsey task force because they are supposed to coordinate with NIMOS, that is the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat. Unfortunately, they were not doing that. So every little commander in any this thing gets up, galamsey phobia, they can't tell who is licensed, they can't tell who is not licensed, and so it was just like an attack on the whole small-scale mining industry. And so what we said was they should freeze their action, they should synchronize it with the National Anti-Galamsey Operational Secretariat so that they can be directed exactly to where to go in terms of the anti-galamsey fight. While we're fighting galamsey, it doesn't mean that it's a free-for-all for everybody to get up. Anybody gets up, puts on a helmet, puts on a jacket, and says, I'm anti-galamsey. They say, we're not looking for chaos. We're looking to do it, in a scientific manner so that we do not hurt the whole of the small-scale mining industry.
So that was the president. Again, you remember yesterday there were a lot of issues about excavators, and we know, according to the Minister of Transport, there is the importation of at least 200 excavators into Ghana every day. And yesterday when I spoke to him on Top Story, he said that they were evacuating what was in the port to safe havens so that people can go and clear them, because they want to determine whether or not those equipment were imported into the country with permits. Let's listen to the president on the excavators as well. When we come, I'll pick the thought of my guest.
With regards to excavators, we're enforcing the law that you must get the permits before the excavator is put on a ship. That is what the law has been, but it was not followed. And so they let the excavator land before they come and ask the Ministry of Transport for a permit. And so we've informed all the dealers that you cannot load an excavator onto a ship until you have gotten a permit. In the meantime, a lot of excavators have arrived at the port. And recently, somebody said they were being released at midnight to their owners and things. That's not true. What happens was there were so many that they had occupied a huge area of the port and congested the port. And so we found the land near Shy Hills, near the military installation. And the Field Engineers Regiment and others have been given charge to move the excavators from the port to that area so that they can free up space in the port. And they do that in the night because of traffic in the daytime. So in the night, they have the payloaders moving the excavators out of the port to the designated areas where they are supposed to be held. And before any of those excavators is released, they must be tracked, they must have a tracker on them, they must be registered by the owner of the excavator, and we must know the purpose for which the excavator has been imported. Because the construction industry also imports excavators, and so you cannot put a blanket ban on importation of excavators just because you think that every excavator is going to go into the illegal mining industry. Even the big mining companies that have licenses import excavators. And so we want to know who is importing the excavators, who it is going to. We want to be able to put a tracker on it and be able to trace that excavator wherever it is in the country.
So that was the president there. I'll start with you, lawyer. No, as a lawyer, Honorable Vondi on this, because yesterday the transport minister told us on Top Story that the number of excavators in the system already can handle any of our demands. And so they would have to even check why these excavators are coming in. And I was asking him, what then happens if you say the numbers we have already in the system are enough? What will you do to those which are being imported? Must we just say you can come for permit when we know that we have enough excavators in the system? And again, the large-scale miners explained to us yesterday that even the excavators that are being imported, the smaller ones, are not what the large-scale miners use.
Yeah, so again, that's the point, you know. If we have a lot of excavators in this country already, and those excavators are enough and can be used for any constructions that we want to do in this country, it still belongs to somebody. You know, so again, somebody may bring an excavator that he have a purpose he want to use it for. It doesn't mean that, for example, me as a contractor, you know, if I'm doing a road construction, for example, in my constituency, I should not be able to be allowed to bring an excavator. What's important, and that's why the permit process is very important, is that you don't just go bring excavator, you need permit. And it is that process that would grant you the permit to bring it or not, that we know whether there is use for it. If there's no use for it, doesn't mean when you're going through the process to get permits to bring the excavator, automatically you'll be given. No. And so that is the point. So we can have that process followed. So we know who needs the excavator, who do not need the excavator. Again, I think that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you know, was actually right, you know, where we have to, you know, move the excavators from the port to a very safe havens, and you know, so people should not think that the excavators have been snaked out to giving to people to take to the forest reserves, you know, to go and destroy our forest bodies and all that. You see,
people are accusing you that you are creating jobs for your men because you've put together a committee. Now people have to go to these safe havens to then justify before they are giving their machines.
You see, but that is with the greatest of respect, there is a problem. You can only solve a problem when you create some level of job to solve the problem. So that's normal.
Okay.
And you don't want to say that we don't want to create job, and therefore for that, and so we should leave the excavators to just leave at our shores and go into the forest reserves and so forth and so on to destroy the lands and all that. That's not what we're saying. So for me, that's a good strategy, a good way of controlling. So what's important, you heard the president say that we've spoken to all the agencies that, you know, brings the excavators that do not put excavator into the ship until you have, you know, the person who is importing it, you know, have permits and all that. So for me, so there should be severe sanctions.
If you have asked them not to do it and they do it,
yeah, I'm saying that there should be severe sanctions to, you know, those who would actually flout those rules. Again, if you bring excavator that you do not have permit, I don't think that there should be any justification for you to bring the excavator before you come and think of doing permit. I mean, you don't get that. And so once you bring the excavator without permit, you shouldn't be given the opportunity to come and rectify or regularize whatever it is that you're supposed to do before bringing it. Automatically must be confiscated into the state's, you know, hands and for whatever the state want to use it for.
Okay. All right.
I think that's the way. And some of the excavators must go back to wherever they are coming from illegally. And I believe that if we do this, these things would help. Again, on the withdrawal of the IGP's boys, men, if you like, I think that it is important to synchronize these things properly. Like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, okay, this is a situation where we heard many stories of people going to, you know, mining sites, you know, trying to extort money from the miners, trying to take their gold and all that. So those that the state is even sending to those mining sites must be properly identified, you know, and I think that if there's a concern that, hey, this is all we're picking, these are the signals that we're picking, that there are some people who supposedly, you know, are, you know, states, you know, agencies like the police, the military, some of them. I mean, again, it's important to realize that, like His Excellency said, we're not looking to create chaos, to add to the problems, compound the problems. We are looking to solve problems. And so if you're putting men and women there, and some of them are kind of trying to destroy the very good job others are doing, it is just appropriate to call them back.
Okay.
You know, sanitize the system, regroup them, reassign them, and then get them to get the job done. Nobody's saying that we're withdrawing them for good, no. But we're trying to ensure that the men and women that were put in there, we're not putting them there to go create another problem.
Okay.
And that's exactly what a very good manager should do.
Okay.
And that is what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is doing. I think that one thing that we have to applaud this government for is that for the past 8 months that we've been in government, not even one scandal will anybody be able to talk about. And this is check and balances that we put in place to check all our appointees and ensure that the right thing is actually being done. I think that these issues are troubles that will be surmounted, you know, again, and that the Ghanaian people will have the benefit of it soon. So for me, let's all work together. The situation about Galamsey, it's not about, you know, easy thing to do. Okay, you're talking about livelihood of people.
Thank you very much.
Until we deal with it, it will be done. We will be taken care of.
Okay.
And I believe that we'll be fine.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be fine.
Let me bring in lawyer Andre Japamesa. I mean, you listened to the president on why the IGP task force was recalled and the excavators. This shows he's trying to be open.
I laughed.
Really?
I laughed. The IGP woke up without any authorization, without any consultation, without recourse to his ministers, without recourse to his superior authorities, and set up a task force to go into the forest and start arresting people, right? That's what the president is telling us. That's what the president is telling us. And you guys take these things hook, line, sinker.
No, but we were not given opportunity to ask follow-up questions.
Well, then maybe tell him to organize it next time in a manner that allows you guys who represent us to ask relevant questions.
We asked relevant questions, follow-ups.
Follow-up questions.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Because I laughed that in the governance structure that we have as a country, the IGP on his own volition can set up a task force, deploy them without authorization. And the president turns around and says that, oh, we stopped it. Because what? What kind of governance are we talking about? So please, tell him to come again. Those who buy such talk, well, thankfully I'm not part of it. And I know that the greater majority of Ghanaians don't buy it. Okay? And this excavator thing, I really don't get it all.
Why don't you?
Why? We're told in June that importation of Galamsey excavators have been banned. And that shipping lines have been mandated to validate licenses or permits before carrying them into Ghana.
Yes.
June has come and gone. July has come and gone. August has come and gone. September has come.
Yeah.
And we are told that excavators have come to the port. Do they have permits already? If they do, why they need to send them to so-called military installations, safe havens, for you to go and do what before you release them?
The minister explains that...
I want to know the explanation.
He says there are some of them that came in before they gave that no
How many
permit,
months?
no.
Do you know how long goods ought to stay in the port before they are cleared, pursuant to which they are subject to demurrage?
I know 60 days.
It's not up to 60 days, oh. Check. 30.
For vehicles and equipment, it's 60.
I'm not sure, but check. So 60 days. June, July is 60 days.
Yeah.
August, September. So my point is, I don't believe them. Because they say one thing and do another. Because it won't make sense to me that if you require prior permits before you bring these equipment in, all the rationale for the importation would have been laid bare to the minister before he gives you the permit. And so when you bring it in, it presupposes that you've met all the criteria for importation, and so all you have to do is to pay your duties and take them out of the port to go and do what the permit grants you to do. Is that what is happening?
Yeah, that's what they said they are doing.
Oh, that's what they're doing?
Yeah.
And so why are they going to... verifying which permit?
The permit, whether you have permit or not. That's what the minister says. Yeah.
That's what he says.
Yes.
But is that consistent with the statement that he issued in June?
I mean,
that you require, if you require prior permit,
yes.
What it means is that you have to take the permit before you even go and buy.
Yes.
And the shipping lines ought to validate that you have a permit to bring this equipment into Ghana. Because I'm coming to agree with him that these things should be confiscated. Because as far as I'm concerned, the time span that we're told, right, that these things have been banned, and now it's too long for me to be convinced that these equipments have been sitting at the port for 4 months and that they are not affected by the ban, imposition of the ban that the minister issued. I'm not convinced. And they better come with further and better particulars to convince some of us that indeed and in fact, these were not, or these were equipments that had come into Ghana before the permit was issued.
No,
Otherwise, it's a complete joke. Say it again.
He didn't say all of them. He said he wants to verify which of them had permits and which of them don't, so that they can.
So they don't have any mechanism at the port to know the consignee of the equipment, to know that this consignee was given a permit to import 10, 20, 50, 100 excavators.
Yeah.
And that the documentation, bill of lading, and all that documentation that is associated with international trade that proves that these equipments have come, submitted to the port authorities together with their permit to enable them clear their goods. The minister now has to go back and verify.
They've set up a team, not him directly.
Yes, there's a minister. The team is working for the minister.
Yes.
They now have to go back and verify the permits and the bill of lading before they are, so they are moving it to Shire Hills.
Yes.
To go and keep them there.
Yes, I mean,
if you are convinced, I'm fine, because I'm not. I'm clearly not convinced. And the suspicion that these things have been brought in to support their people, so they generate more gold for gold board, is what I tend to believe.
And I thank God you said suspicion, because you have no justification.
Because I don't have the evidence.
You don't have the evidence. So I thank God you said suspicion.
But it seems to me that that is plausible, as opposed to the minister's explanation. Because it doesn't make sense to me. We've had permitting regimes in the past, in this country, where even flour and sugar you needed permit to import. That's, of course, way before our constitutional dispensation and all that. Okay. But it's reasonable when you say that if you obtain the permit prior to importation, then when they come to the ports, all you have to do is to show your permit to the port authorities to enable you to clear your goods.
Yeah.
It doesn't require a third-party storage location before some validation is done prior to issuing those equipments that you've imported on that permit to you. I do not understand.
No.
Maybe Vondi does, but I don't.
If I can have a quick bite.
Yes, yes.
Look, what you should be saying, and I agree with you, is that let's look at those equipments that were already sitting, in the ships, maybe on the high sea coming, before the disclaimer was issued, before the directions were issued. Those ones we could treat with some...
It doesn't take 3 months
hold on,
equipment to move from China to Ghana.
Hold on. Can I finish?
Let me add.
Can I finish?
Let me just add this to her.
Again,
in June, when the minister spoke on
you allow me, and you will understand what I'm saying.
Oh, no, I'm just buttressing. He made a point that they are aware, per their intelligence, that about 3,000 are on the high seas to Ghana.
So hold on. We can kind of, if you like, allow some kid gloves treatment on those that were on the high sea coming before the order was issued. Again, it doesn't mean we should let them go, like even those ones. And that is why it's important that we bring them in, move them to a safe haven, and then be able to get a way of getting them out, or if you like, some of them, confiscated if possible. But those that they are coming in after the order have no explanation, justification whatsoever. Okay. Then we can, because you see, we are not in the jungle's world.
Okay. All right.
So for me, we're saying same thing. Again, yes, we shouldn't allow the excavators to enter the forest reserves and go and destroy things and all that. Also, we cannot be so hard on people that we ourselves have given them the rights, if you like, we were weak, if you like, allow them put all those things on high C to come, and then they come, and you know, but those that the instructions were issued before they put them on the high C illegally, they have no explanation. Those we can quickly, you know, play off. So for me, that's what it is, and we're saying same thing.
Let me bring in another one.
Kojo, the president responded to the question. Number one, he showed the location where these excavators can be found. You doubt him, you drive there. I think that you can see it when you drive. Number two, he has shown us those who are responsible to handle and also take care of these excavators. We can easily make verification.
Absolutely.
Whether or not it is true. Now, what we should understand is this, that it takes a process for importers or buyers to speak to their suppliers when they want to buy some of these equipments. And so when a minister has issued a communique, and let's say I'm an importer, and I have gone to do my negotiations already, I've signed my contract, they are bringing it. Because some of these earth-moving equipments, they don't buy them in cash. All right, they go to negotiate. When they come, they work, they pay after they've made deposits. I mean, with the buses and all of these earth-moving equipments. That is how some of these things are done. And so you will notice that it will not just take a day to clear some of these issues. But what has been done? There has been some innovative measures that has been put in place. It is not just about banning the importation. Of course, it is heartbreaking to get to know that the third most valuable item that is being imported into this country is an excavator. Very heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. And these excavators have various uses. I mean, I stand and I agree with the school of thought that we should not import these earth-moving machineries like an excavator. Because if we have enough, if you have a farm plantation and you would want an excavator, there are some type of excavators that you would need. You go through a process and you get it done. You go through a process and you get it moved into your farm. But you see, the innovative aspect of it is what has been done by the DVLA, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, the geotagging and the geotracking. And in the registration by the DVLA, now you just don't go and register, but the details of the owner and the organization or company that is going to use that excavator is also added to the information that is being gathered by the DVLA. So you easily track and you can easily identify when they have even been moved.
Have you heard the minister on this tracking? Okay, no, it was the DVLA. Sometimes you will see a tracker moving towards Bolga. They've removed it and they've put it in a Yango car.
So you see, that is the point. So the information that they have on the owner of the excavator to whom that tracker has been issued, one has done a criminal thing by touching the tracker. And these things, when you are a CEO or a minister and you come to give such explanations, I don't agree with you.
Okay, all right.
If the tracker has been touched, the person ought to be arrested.
Okay.
After the person has been arrested, how much more do you, what next, what else do you do to deter such activities? No,
land. I just want to move on to
now, you would have to put in other punitive measures, either by banning that company or that individual from importing such earth-moving machineries again into this country. You see, when you take the criminal triangle, all right, and you look at it, we have the opportunities, we have the abilities, and we have the desire. What we should do in some of these issues is to put in measures or punitive measures that would kill the desire of people involving themselves in some of these criminal activities. That would save us all. You see, if excavator importation alone is to a tune of 6.2 something billion, and they give a figure.
Yeah, they give a figure.
It means that it is worth some consideration. And we need to actually sit down and deal with the matter. So for me,
at least we now know that it's the 10th most imported item into the country.
So we need to put in measures to deal with it. All of these excavators, where are they going to?
Okay.
You understand? I do not, like those that have been seized. I was not in agreement when they were being bent. What I suggested that we have the engineers regiment, we have some routes that needs to be dealt.
And them too. The
National Service Authority is working on some plantations.
Yes.
There are some secondary schools that have huge lands that they can use for farming. We allocate these things to them, and then we make good use of them.
Okay.
At a point, our engineers and our ministries and the agencies should be able to tell us that, listen, we have had enough of these earth-moving equipment.
Thank you, Nana. Thank you, Nana. I'm grateful. Let's move on and talk about going back to the international market. Now, the president says we have survived without borrowing, and therefore there won't be a rush for us to go back to the international market. Ms. Mensah, that is a reassuring thing from the president, that we won't rush back into the international market because we survived without borrowing.
I'm not so sure whether that statement in itself was accurate.
Why is it not accurate?
Because under the IMF regime, look, no, but of course, speaking to fact, you are in parliament. Since you went there in January of 2025, you haven't approved any loans between then and now. You have not?
Mr. Mondi, has Parliament approved loans?
They have.
Okay.
So, look, there's a difference between loans and maybe bonds. Maybe it's the bonds that the president was speaking to. He has to clarify. I listened to the question now, the Bloomberg reporter who was asking whether, and I suspect that his question really was the bond market, which Ghana...
Okay, so he says that, quote, we have survived without going to the capital market. We have survived without borrowing. Who would have thought
That's what I'm saying,
some years ago that because Ghana's economy could be run without external debt financing?
Wait. It's inaccurate. Because he himself, in response to one of the questions that was posed, said there was a cap of 250 million that Ghana could borrow under the IMF program. When the question was asked relative to the Tamale Damango water system, and that he's sure that in the next budget, they're going to find a way to find a resource to fund that. So what does it mean to say that you haven't borrowed in the past 8 months?
But if he says there's a
250 million cap that you can borrow.
But does it mean they have?
But they have. They have.
When?
That's what I'm asking you. Whether Parliament hasn't approved any loans from January to date. Check the records. Call your parliamentary reporter and ask him. We have a cap of how much we can borrow per year under the IMF program. They are working within that. So the president cannot look in the face of Ghanaians and say that we haven't borrowed in the past 8 months. That's not true. Yes, capital market, bond market, we haven't gone because it's closed out, arising out of the restructuring, And he's saying that we've survived up to this point and potentially we're not going to go back anytime soon. No issue. But borrowing is not true.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, so primarily, domestically, through treasury bills, we've been able to mobilize some few treasure bills.
So you've been borrowing from the domestic market?
Domestically to kind of take care of ourselves. We've not gone to the capital market.
Okay.
We've not gone to anybody, outside Ghana to go bring money to this country, borrowing, like we saw in 8 years ago. And so His Excellency Mahama was very truthful, and that is exactly what we did. It is our prayer and hope that you see this gold board, the kind of enthusiasm, the kind of strength that this gold board thing is bringing into our economy, trying to help the city to stabilize, and the revenue generation. It is our prayer and hope that we will move on that tangent for some time. Internal mobilization, and efficiency in terms of payment of our taxes here and there, making sure that we put our money where it matters most, making sure that we don't engage in profligacy, you understand? And like we saw, we don't engage. And so these are demonstrations of good management of the economy, and that is why we see what we're seeing. And so we're not interested in running to the capital market, trying to go and pick all the dollars from outside, borrowing and burdening the future, Ghanaians yet unborn to come and be paying loans here and there. We're not saying that it is prohibited, but I'm saying to you that for the past 8 months, we've not done that, and that's the truth. And I think that that's as a result of good management. And again, if we're able to continue with this kind of disciplines, physical, discipline in our economy, I'm sure that going forward, Ghanaians should be able to largely depend on ourselves. And of course, we cannot say that, because we live in a global, village. But you see, when you go and borrow just purposely because somebody is the manager of the economy and borrowing makes him make money because he gets some percentage of whatever he's borrowing, then that is what we will not do. And so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was right. And so we're just making sure that we're disciplined, we're investing into areas that are very important. Ghanaians are getting the benefits, and it is helping everybody. Today, we're fine.
Okay.
And so it's good.
I'm grateful.
It's good.
Nana?
Kojo,
I saw you giggling along the line.
Yes, because the president was actually talking in context. The question had to do with international capital market. And he responded as such. Now, nobody in this country has denied or would deny that there has been a local bond that has been raised. It was in context. And Kojo, you see, when we are addressing some of these issues, we need to be honest enough to deal with the matter as it is. So if the president is asked about an international capital market, and he says no, and he never thought that Ghana could survive without going to the international capital market, has he said wrong? You understand me? So the context is important. But what is most important is the fact that at least we have been able to ring fence our resources. All right, we have been able to deal with some issues, and at least we are managing expectations. What is important is the discipline in our fiscal monetary policies and issues. All right, have we been able to be disciplined in that angle? I think that the noise about too much borrowing, the noise about governments and administrations putting monies where they are not supposed to go, have all come down as compared to some 2-3 years back. And so what we should be pushing the BOG and the Ministry of Finance is for them to be able to maintain what is happening and to make it sustainable. Are these measures sustainable? That is what we should be interrogating. The sustainability of the measures that have been put in place by the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana.
The president confirmed that the Bank of Ghana's participation in the forex, like the support of the city by issuing forex, has been stopped. So at least that is an answer that that particular measure was not sustainable.
So you see, so these are the things that we should be interrogating, but not to be jubilating because indeed there has been a domestic market borrowing. But at the end of the day, if there has been a domestic market borrowing, which and it is mismanaged, what do you think would happen?
I'm grateful, Nana. Thank you very much for that question.
Oh, what is he talking about? Me, I don't understand though.
Yeah, you don't understand. Because
I don't understand. Because, why?
No, of course.
I'm
sorry. I'm not talking to a panel. I'm talking to the viewers. I'm talking to a listener. And I have a discussion with you.
Our time is up.
Yesterday,
our time is up. Now,
do you know what
this one says,
I can't understand.
How would you understand?
Good morning, gentlemen.
These two gentlemen are coming from...
I was saddened yesterday when I listened. Please hold on. Please hold on. Okay. I was saddened yesterday when I listened to the responses President Mahama gave to Ghanaians with respect to insecurity in the country. Our president couldn't give a concrete outline for tackling insecurity in the country, not even his backyard. Bernard Avle asked him a sensitive and accurate question, but President Mahama swerved and couldn't give an answer. Indeed, Ghana is not in safe hands, and that is not why the Ghanaian people voted for the NDC. Kojo, we are heading into interesting times ahead. Francis Tando in Jomoro brought this one in. Let me do this. Okay, this one says, happy 60th birthday, Mr. Romeo Boakye. On this special milestone, the staff and management of IT Consortium join in celebrating you. As you mark your 60th birthday, we honor your remarkable journey, dedication, and leadership, which continue to inspire us all. May this new chapter usher in good health, fulfillment, and achievement that reflect your legacy. We are proud to share in this celebration and wish you many more years of success. God richly bless you. Warmest regards, staff and management of IT Consortium there. So a happy birthday to you, Mr. Romeo Boakye. On this note, I'm grateful to you, gentlemen, for coming. Nana Yao Sapon is with the Movement for Change. David Fondi is MP, Chufuetimokwa, and board member of SIC. Andrew Ejapa Mesa is former Minister for Tourism and former MP for Second D. We'll take a break here. We'll be back with more plans. An interview with a General Secretary, aspirant of the new Patriotic Party. Do stay with us. All right, so welcome back to the AM show. A reminder that the AM show is sponsored by Kenoga Company Limited and Syntex Tanks. Let's talk more about the new Patriotic Party, the opposition new Patriotic Party. You know the party is in a rebuilding process. They will be going to elect their flag bearer on the 31st of January, 2026. After that, the party will go into electing various leadership positions from the polling station level all the way to the national level. We have in studio now, Honorable Eugene Boakye, who is aspiring to be the General Secretary of the NPP. I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining.
Morning. The first time.
Yes.
I watch you every morning. So.
Thank you. I enjoyed you when you were in Parliament. You were fearless. I mean,
thank you.
I wonder why you went out of Parliament. You should have stayed because of your fearlessness.
Yeah, another chapter has been opened. So
okay, anyway.
Let's see what that also springs up.
But how's life after Parliament?
Very relaxing.
Okay.
Less stressful.
Oh
yeah.
Parliament is stressful.
Yeah, very stressful. And
okay.
I think once again you're in control of your own destiny in terms of what you want to do. You know, committee work, constituency visits, duties in the constituency, all lumped up into something else. So okay. I think I'm enjoying life outside of Parliament for the minute, yes.
Okay. But if it's stressful, why do people still try to go 4 or 5 times?
Do you really know? You don't know. And once you get caught up in there, sometimes you don't know till you come out.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like, it's traveling to see greener pastures. You go think, it's all hunky-dory, then no, you are in for a long haul. Yeah, but It's a great place to be.
Okay.
You know, getting to understand the governance system and structures of our country and what have you. But I think I've done my bit. I'm out of it now. Somebody is also continuing.
Okay. Let's look. You're gunning to be the General Secretary of the NPP, which means that you should have done an analysis of the party to understand what are the shortcomings. Let's start from the defeat in 2024. What do you think caused the party to lose that election?
Let me say good morning to our viewers and especially the NPP fraternity that is watching us this morning. I think we lost because too many of our own people felt that we had drifted away from them. And when your base is crying for jobs, inclusion, humility, sometimes it appeared that we weren't listening. And that created a whole lot of problems for government as well as party. Because when a party is in government, the expectation is such that people think that by the stroke of a pen or a mere phone call, things should happen. But normally it doesn't happen like that. So that's I think we had a very fantastic first term where most of our projects go completed. But yes, at the tail end of the first term was when COVID struck, and in its wake brought a whole lot of issues. Then the Russia-Ukraine war also had an impact on the economy. It was a very turbulent second term, I think, very, very turbulent second term. But the Ghanaian people did take kindly to it. And I'm sure the economy wasn't also in the best shape, right from, I believe, 2 years leading up to the 2024 elections. And we got punished for that.
You believe that a change in the finance minister would have changed your fortunes? Because you were one of those who were calling.
I believe so. If he had gone earlier, I mean, if I had left after the reading of the budget, the appropriation of the budget, I believe Amin Anta would have done a perfect job. He came in later. I mean, just compare what happened in 2022 to what is happening to the NDC now. And my younger brother, Atu Forsen, has not done much. There's not a single policy that Atu has introduced. Look, this is the policy I'm using to shore up the CD or the dollar. We haven't heard that. I'm sure that our donor partners are looking favorably on the government as well as the person in charge. You see, it all helps. Sometimes, a change of face, a change of personnel inures, to one's advantage, when you are dealing with these donor partners.
Okay.
And I'm sure because that didn't happen, we walked all the way through till February 2024 before he left office. I don't think that did our electoral fortunes any good.
No.
Yes.
But your party has decided to do something that many have described as a top-to-bottom approach because they are electing a flag bearer first. They've given several reasons for it. Do you agree with that decision?
Well, the National Council has spoken, and I respect that because as a member of the party, once the National Council speaks, the National Council is seen as National Council is the highest decision-making body outside of conference. Once he speaks, you have to. But a point has to be made. The further decision has been taken. It's like the Supreme Court gives a ruling, people can still discuss it. So party people must understand that this party is not we are all not robots in a way. I mean, the party took a decision, but the only point that some of us had was that whatever model that we used, whether it was the old model or this new model that is at the top down or the top bottom, the base must feel empowered. And when I say the base must feel empowered, you see, this is where people don't understand, because people don't really sit down to go into the details or the minutiae of what we go through in an election.
Okay.
As an MP or as a presidential candidate, because you have to go down and drill down to some of these things. When people speak, and they speak without experience, it's sometimes difficult. We don't appreciate what it takes to win an election.
Okay.
Number one, we live in a country where we have close to 90,000 settlements. We have 16 regions, but we have about 90,000 settlements. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way any presidential candidate of both of the two leading political parties can visit every settlement before an election.
Okay.
You cannot even do 200.
That's too much.
That's too much. That is why the NPP, in its wisdom, brought about the polling station concept in 1998.
Okay.
We used to do the ward system.
Mm-hmm.
But in 1998, the General Secretary of Damboche, His Honorable Damboche and Honorable Odoi Sais at the Suganda Conference, because the JA4 election took center stage. So if people forgot that we did some serious amendments to the Constitution. Mm-hmm. That's why we brought about the polling station structure. And all elections take place at the polling station. Everybody has a polling station that they vote. So when all is said and done, they are the ones that carry us to victory. They are the lifeblood or the heartbeat of the party. So they must be in place. In our last election, the presidential candidate Muhammadu Bawumia taught all the 276 constituencies, not settlements.
Yeah.
People confuse the two. And once, for example, if Dr. Bawumia came to Subin today, once he leaves, the constituency executives, the electoral area coordinators, and the polling station executives are now tasked to enter every home, every shop, every church, every mosque, every market, to then inform these electorates about the vision of the presidential candidate. You understand? That is why we said that, because that the base is not in readiness, there's no point electing a flag bearer before that.
Okay.
But National Council has spoken. It remains to be seen what is it that the party wants to achieve out of this.
Okay.
Because what has served this party, a conservative party like ours, very well since 1996. What has served this party well? The Americans have been saying that if AM broke,
don't change it.
Change it. So what has served this party well? We now have to depart and do something that's novel, something that is going to probably shake the very foundation of the party. Because you see, we're going to elect a flag bearer now. Once the flag bearer is elected, then you start with the internal elections, the polling station all the way up. So what's the job of the flag bearer? Because no flag bearer, no presidential candidate can do any election till 2027, 2028.
But they explain flag bearer will now provide some sort of stability, leadership.
No, but you see, people talk as if they are not politicians. The flag bearer is just one person. The party is there to be formidable for the flag bearer to win an election. It's not the other way around. No single individual can win an election for this party. It's the party that goes into an election. When you start talking like this, then when you go and lose an election, they start blaming you. Say, oh, it's the candidate, it's the candidate. But it's the party that is taking the candidate to an election. You understand? Yeah. So the party must be in such a formidable state, in a state of preparedness, that whoever is elected flag bearer will come and meet a united, formidable party ready to win an election. You are not expecting a flag bearer to come and instill discipline in the party. That's not his job. The Constitution is there for executives, constituency, region, and national, to implement what is here, to apply what is here. It's not the job of a flag bearer. They're even going to make his job difficult. Because once he takes a position, oh, because I didn't vote for him, because I didn't support him, they're even going to make his job difficult by electing him early. But be that as it may, a decision has been taken. We all respect it. Let's wait and see what it throws up. But I said, we are a very conservative party. We have done what has served this party very well in the last, God knows, almost 30 years ago, when we started with this polling station system, always electing from the base before we get to the top. Now, it's the other way around. We all have not seen it. So let's wait and see. what it will throw up. But like I said, I fully respect the decision of council, but we have to fight to ensure that the grassroots must feel that it works for them, because they are the ones who are going to campaign.
Okay.
They are the ones who are going to campaign for the party.
So if that's the case, and a lot of the people at the base, the grassroots, are calling for the release of the Professor Michael Quay committee report, would you then, based on that, to say, well, I agree with that?
Well, let me conclude on that phase and then come to the... What you must all bear in mind is that no strategy will win an election without the polling station soldier.
Oh, yes, yes.
No strategy, whether or no model can win an election without a polling station soldier. They are the heartbeat, I said, or the lifeblood of any political party in this country. You understand? Yes. Now, flowing on to Okoye. The difficulty some of us have is that the report was submitted to council. Professor Okoye gave a synopsis of the report. We were told that the report was a document that was not going to be released or discussed.
Yeah.
But the recommendations were going to be fully implemented. Then a thank you tour started. And then we heard people referring copiously to that report. So that straight away sparks a debate. You understand? And then you expect others to also come in. And the difficulty some of us have is that there must be a semblance or a sense of balance. All what we heard was about the administration of the former president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Reshuffle, he didn't do it. DDEP, power, arrogance of power, all those things were being directed at the administration. So what did the party people do? Well, there was the government and then there was the party. The party chairman, the party general secretary sat in cabinet. Do you understand? So some of us felt it was unfair by just attacking the administration of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So what did the party do? Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo was elected and sworn in as president on the 7th of January 2021. The executives, national executives, were also elected, I think, July, August of 2022. So for almost 2-3 years, you were in cabinet with him. And your job as a general secretary or a chairman is the constitution of the party and the manifesto of the party. That's your job, to go to cabinet and ensure that is being applied. We are strictly following the dictates of our manifesto or the party constitution. If that could not be done, then I don't see the point of trying to blame the president. Do you understand? And that is the difficulty some of us had, that, look, if you are going to talk about it, let's talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, then let's shelve it. And what we must also understand is that the report, I don't believe, has set out to disgrace anybody. The report is about learning lessons for the future. That's what the report is about. That's why we did a report, so that we know where we went wrong. And then the recommendations. So if you face the truth now, we avoid repeating what happened in 2024. And that is why people are saying, okay, let's see the report. Fine. Delegates, I believe they are smart. They know the Supreme problem. They know what caused the election. I think everybody knows, but it's just that we wanted a document to prove that something took place. Now, let me take your mind back to something. In 2008, after that defeat, that cliffhanger of an election that brought Professor Mills in, there was another committee chaired by Dr. Jimmy Heyman, Ghana's former South African High Commissioner, under J. Kufuor. And in that report, paragraph 4 stated that the expansion of our polling stations was a necessity. But at the time, there was this infiltration, talk of infiltration. So let's do the 5-5. 5 executives for a polling station. But we must take an intermediate step of moving to one member, one vote. 2009 to 2016. How many years? 2026, how many years?
That's long, huh? Even if it's 2010 to 20, that's 16.
Yes.
So that's 17 years.
17 years. It has not happened. And it's in that report. And because
so 16 years, right?
Yes.
16.
So if you have not implemented this, and people are saying the same thing today, are we a serious political party?
Oh, wow.
That's the question. So when people keep things to themselves, that's what happens. I am privileged to know what is in there because I followed the team in Ashanti and Bono and Hafo. So I know what is contained in that report.
Which means that at the Congress, when they said that you will take steps towards the one man, one vote, you don't even believe that it could be...
Some of us don't believe it. And when you say it, these young Turks in the party don't seem to get it.
Okay.
We've been around for a long time.
Because you think that it's been there for 16 years.
If something as important as expanding the base of your party, to get more people in, to mobilize more people for elections, to mobilize more funds for a party, somebody could not implement it for 16 years. And we are talking about another report, somebody's keeping under his armpit and going and referring to base that don't refer to him, but refer to others. Are we being serious? And what we are saying is that even Engineer Kwabena Japan, when he brought his constitutional amendments and talked about, okay, if you don't have the base, fine, let's leave it. Let's do all former and current, all former polling station executives, all current polling station executives, all former coordinators, all current, all former constituency, all current, all former region, all former national, all current. Let's add them as a base and then do the agency heads, the deputy ministers who were not MPs and the CEOs who were not MPs. Let's put all of them together as a base and then expand it from there. That too, they ditched the polling stations. The polling stations, you have the numbers there, more than the top. So the polling station constitutes about 94% of the electoral college. So what is this party afraid of? What is this party? You go into an election, the party garnered about 4-point-something million in the elections. And the 4-point-something million that you get, you don't even have a membership base, database to reflect that. Yeah. You don't even have 1 million members on our books.
Wow.
And if you say yes, you cannot determine the party affiliation of Mr. Brace. That's fine. But as for every polling station executive, you have the details in the party office. The IT directors must have it because I've been an MP for 2 terms. All my registers, once they are compiled, 2 will be signed by the chairman and the secretary of the constituency. Goes to region. Region will keep one will come to national. So we have it. So what are we running away from? So these are some of the concerns that some of us have. And when people don't know, and people think that, we are not going to release, you're not going to release what? We are talking about things that should have been done that we have not done and using excuses, excuse me, using lame or tenuous excuses to defend an indefensible position. Why can't this party expand its base?
From your analysis then, do you support the people who try to blame the current leadership for what befell the party in 2024?
Well, I'm not here to attack anybody. But I believe that we must be fair to the issues. If the party, after going through such an abysmal election with such seismic, defeat, and a committee is put together by the party, and the committee reports on its findings, the party must abide by it. The party must let us know what we need to know. For example, we went to Legon for the reforms, for the conference.
Yes.
What were we going to what suggestions were we going to make if you had not seen the recommendations of the
But there were suggestions.
Which suggestions?
The amendment you did.
No, but those amendments were brought in on the blind side of recommendations. How many people knew what was there, apart from we being told by the party HQ that we have to do this, we have to add 2 more people to the constituency, we have to do this and all that. We should know.
What if it was made aware to the committee?
Which committee?
The committee that worked on the amendment, because you had lawyers.
The committee, you see, a committee cannot, the biggest forum is the national conference.
Yes.
And when things are brought there, that's what we discuss. And why can you tell me that when you are going to expand the base of your party, that is also a secret? Because you are going to do something that will inevitably get out there anyway. You understand? You are not saying go and tell us what President Kufuor said, what President Kufuor said, what the first national security minister said. That's what we are saying. What we are saying is that the recommendations that have far-reaching implications for our party are what we are looking to address. Do you understand?
But are they not what informed the recommendations they brought?
That I don't know.
The amendment.
Because we were asked to bring in our constitutional reforms or amendments. That's what we sent in. On the back of what? You understand what I mean? So let's try and do the right things. Let's try and make sure that we want to put this party on a sound footing to win 2028.
But this your 2024 laws. Was it not expected that Ghanaians were so angry that there was nothing your national leadership or the party itself could have done because Ghanaians were angry?
If you say so, I disagree.
Okay.
Because Ghanaians were angry not in 2024.
Okay.
They were angry before that. That's why some of us had to put our parliamentary careers on the line and bring attention to the president that he must do something about the finance minister. Well, we saw it. We were MPs, we were traveling up and down. We went to our constituencies, and we heard, the cries of our supporters and our sympathizers. And that's why some of us say, no, well, let's go and meet the president. When we couldn't meet the president, we told the whole country that this was the position, we're not happy with it. And, when push came to shove, it was out there that the economy was what cost us the elections. Especially when, I will talk about one thing. The president of the Republic at the time, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, told the country in a live broadcast that there were not going to be any shortcuts, any haircuts. Further down the line, his finance minister, Honorable Kenneth Furiata, introduced haircuts. That DDEP, according to the numbers being bandied about, affected 800,000 Ghanaians. Do you understand? So if it is 800,000, if it even divided into two, 400 NDC, 400,000 NDC, 400,000 NPP, times 4, your wife and your 2 kids. They take that modest, conservative view of it. That is 4 per every household. 4 times 4 gives at least 1.6 million. All these people didn't vote. All these people didn't vote. I can say hand on heart that all these people didn't vote. They will not go to the booth and vote against MPP. So they won't vote at all. So we know where we lost the numbers.
Okay. All right. Now, you want to become the party's general secretary. What is pushing you to want to become the general?
Well, clearly, I love my party. I've sacrificed for it. I've stayed loyal through thick and thin. And I want to see an MPP that rewards loyalty, treats people fairly, and inspires Ghanaians again. So I'm running for the position, not because of the title, but because of hope. Ghanaians had hope in us in 2016. That is why they gave us 169 MPs and approximately 1 million votes. It was unprecedented in the history of politics in our country. The first time that an opposition leader had rose straight into government. That was the first time. And the NDC has also done it in 2024. Now, we can see clearly that the undying principles or values of the party have eluded us. And I don't know whether you listened to President Akufo when he came in for the
party's school, the launch of the Patriotic Institute.
Yes. President Akufo said something. He said, look, this party is not Dankwa. The party is not Buzia. The party is not Victor Usu. The party is not him, Professor Dubuahen, Jacob Akufo-Addo, or Dr. Bawumia. The party was a tradition, or is a tradition. We have our own undying principle. The fact that you take a temporary charge of it doesn't mean the party belongs to anybody, or it belongs to the name they sometimes want to associate with the party. There are so many of our forebears who did far more important things in the course of this tradition, but whose names are not mentioned, or probably mentioned in the footnote of history. So we talk about the undying principles or values of the party. What are we known for? Property owning democracy, right? Respect for human rights, rule of law, better managers of the economy, and stuff like that. That is what makes the NPP stand out from the rest of the political parties in this country. And I believe that we've lost that Midas charge. We've lost it. Yes, because if you talk to majority of our party people, they have the humble view that the economy was what did us in badly. We were all over the place.
Yeah.
We maintained a certain degree of stability when Honorable Amin Anta came in the latter part of the administration. But it was, the horse had already bolted. You know, there was no point in trying to, you know, do anything that was going to change the mind of Ghanaians. Because you win an election, I believe, 18 months to the time, not in the election year.
Okay.
Because anything you do, people will tell you it's because of the election that you are constructing these roads, you are putting up these street lights. And that is what cost us. But we've learned our lessons. Ghanaians did not reject our tradition. Ghanaians punished us to go home, and then because they know, Ghanaians know that we are capable.
So what's your vision?
My vision,
because you've enumerated that,
well,
for example, Ghanaians that did not reject your tradition.
No, we did it not.
So if they didn't, what's your vision?
My vision is the reforms. I mean, the reforms, yes, we've done a bit, but there must be far-reaching reforms. I've told you about expanding the base of the party, right? We shouldn't give people the impression that if you're not a delegate per se, if you're not a police station executive, a coordinator, you have no say in the run of the party. You understand? That's also some of the problems that I believe the Okoye committee brought up, but which is quite not being discussed. We must make sure that in any democracy that you go, you deal with numbers. Democracy is a game of numbers. We must continue to expand the base of our party.
Okay.
Not just the former and current officers. We must bring people on board who are traders, who are mechanics. They must all come on board because that's the base of the party. And once we are able to push those through, hopefully before the 2028 elections, by expanding the base, and then we must restore the hope and the maturity and discipline that the tradition has been associated with. Yes, we must restore that. And I believe the rebuilding process, which is more or less the recapture of power too, is doable. If you look at the polls critically from 2016, you can see that Ghanaians they don't take any prisoners these days. Once they are happy with something, they get you out. So if you're able to present a very responsible, mature leadership, disciplined leadership to the people of this country, the people of this country know who is best placed to be in government out of the two political parties. But sometimes they punish us because when we're in power and you don't listen to them, excuse me, the end result is punishment. Go back, do your homework, and come back. And that is what the party is doing now. But there must be far-reaching reforms of the parties or the party structure.
But the reforms are done by a committee, not a general secretary as an individual.
No, but who forms the committee?
The party.
Then don't let us go there, please.
No, you educate.
Just let us end here.
No, you have to educate.
Do you have to vote for who will assist on the committee? Do you have to vote?
They are chosen.
So
by the National Executive Committee, not so.
And who present the names to the National Executive Committee? Look, let's deal with the questions, please.
Okay.
I'm not here to talk about anybody. If I'm given the position, I know what to do to get the right people there to do the job. Yes, if a committee must be put together responsibly. And I've been in Parliament. I was there with the former Attorney General of this Republic, Honorable Jogati. Why couldn't he be a member of that committee or even chair it? Honorable Atachia, how many years at the bar? Why couldn't he be on that committee? Why couldn't he chair it? Honorable Obi Amwa, Dambuche, they're all there. Okay. Please, don't let us go there, please. You see, if you want the best, you will get the best. If you also don't want to use the best materials that we have, then we're all going to confront the problems. We want people who have the institutional memory. We have people who have the experience. We have people who are respected. Yes. Yes. So, please.
You mentioned some names.
Because they're all members of Parliament. They're all not in Parliament now.
Yeah.
So why couldn't somebody like Honorable Jogati chair it?
He's a colossus, really.
A former Attorney General of the Republic.
Yeah.
Honorable Atachia, a 4th member of Parliament, a former cabinet minister. Damboche, a former general secretary of the party.
He's a great strategist.
Yes. So why couldn't all these people be part of the, if you only want to put a team together to work for this party, put a team that will scare your opponents. That's what politics is about.
But you should also, okay, anyway, you say you don't want us to do it.
Yes, because you are trying to push me into a certain corner.
But that makes people understand the sort of boardroom.
They understand. It just, you see, politics is now become fanaticism in our country. People don't want to read through the issues. People think, oh, because Kojo Brace is my friend, anything that has to support him. Yes, but they forget that we are dealing with millions of Ghanaians who don't have friends at the top.
No, but the committee we put together too were made up of some of the brilliant minds you have in your party.
Mention some of the names. No, why do you want to dwell on that? I think you've spoken about it. Let's move on.
All right.
They've done their work. Let's move on.
Okay, but you say that your party, Ghanaians love your party more to be in power more than the NPP.
Of course. Ghanaians know anytime we win an election, look at the numbers that turn up to vote. If you want to be a dispassionate observer of the political history of this country, take all the elections, the proper elections, from 2000 coming. 2000.
Which one of them is not a proper election?
The 90s one, you can describe them.
Okay.
2000, when we've had competitive elections in this country. Look at the data.
Oh, but 96 was competitive. You have to start from 96. 92 we understand, but 96.
Oh, Kojo. Anything to do with Jerry Rawlings, you can't say competitive.
It was.
Oh, okay. Your opinion, I differ.
Okay.
But if you look at the data, anytime we win, look at the numbers. NPP always comes to power with huge numbers.
John Mahama has wiped that.
Oh, he's done his bit, but we'll reverse it.
Okay.
Inshallah, we'll reverse it.
You would reverse that?
Oh, yeah. No, because it clearly tells when people are angry with you, they don't want to listen to you, they don't want to hear you, they don't want to hear you out. And that's what happened in 2024. The Ghanaians were just angry with us.
So how do you think you can win back the trust of...
Oh, we can do it. But how was Mahama able to overcome the 1 million votes he lost?
How will you do it?
Oh, you want to come and talk about my strategies to you and to the NDC?
I want to know how you...
Well, you wait. The first step is to make sure that the focus should be on the parliamentary seat, not the presidential. Because if you don't win the parliamentary, there's no way you win the presidential.
Okay.
You understand? If you are moving the car, if you don't move into first gear, you can never go into second gear. And people are always forgetting and mixing the two. That you win the most seats in parliament, the presidency falls as a bonus. That's why NDC will field anybody to win an election in a constituency, because once they know they win, they have the numbers, they know they are in Jubilee House.
So they will decide to say, we are pinpointing this person to contest. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because, why? There are certain areas. Look at Ayawaso Wesugon. Dumelo came close in 2020, but they didn't win. They didn't change Dumelo. Even when the Nuyama guy wanted to contest him, they didn't change him, they maintained him, and he's won a seat for them. NPP, there are so many instances like that where we've changed candidates who were able to win those seats for us at the last minute because of primaries and stuff like that. Yes, you see, so NDC has a way of, shuffling things to win an elections. And these are the things that we must also learn from them.
But there were places that they took new candidates as well and they won the seat for them.
Well, it depends. But what I'm trying to say is that there were so many areas that the new candidates, not the new candidate, the old candidates, if they had been maintained, I've been told a case in the Upper East, I don't want to mention the name of the constituency. If you had maintained the candidate who contested in 2020, he would have won the seat this time.
Okay.
Because he was basically robbed in 2020. Right? There were almost 13,000 or 14,000 spoiled ballots. Yes. Oh, hey, the winner won by 67 votes. You understand? So you know that some fingers were moving around. So let's leave it at that. So the focus of the party should be on the parliamentary, not the presidential. Though it's 2 elections in a day, but you win more parliamentary seats, your president is the Jubilee House. Yes. Look at the trend in the Fourth Republic. Who has lost parliament and won Jubilee House?
Okay.
But people are not addressing their mind to it.
So your party should focus on the parliament.
You see, that is the distinction between the national executive officers of the NDC. The chairman is a former member of parliament. The general secretary is a former member of parliament. They know that your focus should be on parliamentary seats. And look at the focus. The focus is more on parliament. Look at what happened in Doma. Do you know the lady they put up in Doman to beat our candidate there, Paul Chumberema? Have you seen the candidate? I think it's Honorable Mamenu's place too. They will bring somebody who is just popular there to beat you and take the seat for them. The person can come and sit in Parliament for 20 days. They don't have to talk. They can just sit there as MP. Whenever we are counting, they have the numbers.
Once he or she wins the seat.
Yes. Once they are interested in winning the seat. Well, they know that the more seats they win, Jubilee House falls as a bonus.
That's a strategy your party doesn't have?
Well, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm talking about the NDC. So let's focus on it.
You want to become the general.
There are certain things I can't sit here and say.
Okay.
But the strategy is that we know what we have to do. I've told you the most important thing on the 7th of January is the parliamentary seats, not the presidential. Because no president has won election in this country without parliament. So why are you focusing on the presidential and not the parliamentary?
You just want to do it early and move on. No, not so.
No. The reason is that you focus more on the parliamentary seat, spend more resources, then win the parliamentary seat, win more parliamentary seats. Once you cross 140, 150, 145 thereabout, you know you've won the elections.
Okay.
Nothing will change.
Okay.
You understand? It's like we won 137 plus 1 in 2020 and we won the election. We still won the elections. Mm-hmm. If I flip the other way, then this would have won. Yeah. You understand?
Mm-hmm. All right. We're still talking to Honorable Eugene Boakye. He is aspiring to be the General Secretary of the NPP. I mean, you were able to analyze the performance of your party when you were in power. John Mahama has been in power for, this is the 9th month. What's your assessment of his government's performance?
Mm-hmm. His Excellency John Mahama. Well, after 9 months, I think the hardship hasn't reduced. And the promises they made, well, they've done well by establishing the Gold Board, similar to or akin to the Cocoa Board. So let's see what my younger brother, Sami Jenfi, will do to that agency. But besides that, what have they done? You see, that's what I was talking to you about. Oh, we've arrested the dollar, we've done this, we've done this. But what people fail to understand or appreciate is that for government to do anything, there must be a policy behind it or policy driving it. In all honesty, which policy has been introduced by the NDC through Honorable Kasela to forcing to hold the dollar? None. It was all artificial. But the dollar is now
rising.
It's rising again. So it shows you that the goodwill that they were enjoying from the international community was helping them, and the non-payment of government debts, not debts, but government contracts, all helped in stabilizing the currency for them. But now things are changing, and clearly we are going to see the true side of the NDC. The things they talked about, I was listening to the president last night, and I guess cracked up. Akufo-Addo should declare state of emergency. And Akufo-Addo should declare state of emergency. If you look at the number of towns, districts, villages, communities that straddle these Galamsey areas, you'll be amazed. Well, how do you then? They said all that. Have they been able to implement state of emergency? Galamsey is still going on.
Explain why he can do it, yes.
Well, you see, so everybody can explain. So Akufo-Addo was also explaining. What the Akufo-Addo was also explaining? So if he's explaining to you, the Akufo-Addo was also explaining when we're in power. But they can't do it, give us the power. LI 2462. Mining in the forest. Oh, Akufo-Addo gave the license to Wontumi and to go and mine in the forest. They've been in power 9 months. Ghanaians are watching all these things. So talk is cheap. Talk is indeed cheap. I can go through a number of them, but for the sake of this program, Ghanaians are very much aware that in spite of the goodwill that this government has enjoyed for the last 9 months, we saw clearly from the president's encounter with the media yesterday that he's fumbling. He's really fumbling.
You sure?
Oh, yes. He's fumbling. Clearly.
He was clear in thought.
He wasn't. Look at the insecurity in his own backyard.
Oh, you can't go there.
Well, but what did the president say? You see, Why do media guys do that? You say, why can't I go there? So Akufo-Addo, who is from Chebi, in Achimwe-Buakwa here, enclave here, caused trouble in Boko, eh?
No, he didn't.
So why was the NPP being blamed? Didn't you hear Mahama when he was campaigning? John Mahama told this country that anytime the NPP is in power, Boko is in flames. You didn't hear him? You didn't hear that?
But because he did it,
you didn't hear that. I'm asking you, didn't hear that? It's a direct question.
If you had sat in front of me, I would have told you not to say it.
But did you hear him say that?
I'm saying that if he sat in front of me, I would have told you not to say it.
You say you are fearless.
Oh, yes,
you
I
are
am.
Intelligent. I'm asking you another question.
Yeah.
Do you hear candidate Mahama in 2024 on the campaign trail saying that anytime my tradition, the NPP was in power, Boko was in flames? Do you hear him? Yes or no?
I'm saying that if he were sitting here like you're doing,
Masa, you are not fearless. So Joy should replace you. You are not fearless.
They know I'm very, very fearless.
You are not fearless.
I am. The reason I'm saying
Did you hear John Mahama or not on the campaign trail?
Okay, so let me put it this way. Around this table, I am.
Ghana, you see?
And I'm saying that if he was here, I would have told him not to say it.
But I'm telling you that. Did you hear him?
Make your point.
Fearless journalism.
No, everybody heard him say that. And I'm saying that. So I don't want.
So if you are pushing that blame to my tradition, that we are the confused lot and the chaotic lot that has created a problem in Boko, a region or a town that has seen conflict before even John Mahama was born.
So where did he say that? The reason I'm not able to answer you.
He went and even promised the Kosasis a traditional. You didn't hear all the things that went on.
He went to promise them. I didn't hear. I didn't.
Look, after Mahama.
If I had heard it, I would have said that.
Oh, yeah, he went and promised them a traditional authority and all that. There was a lot of things that he said. You see, you are not a politician, you are a journalist. So if you say you don't, I'm telling the things that he said. Because I listened to him.
But let's not rehash it.
Oh. They even put the blame on Dr. Bamia because he's a Kusasi. He's a Mampusi. And the conflict is between Kusasi and Mampusi. They even put a blame on Dr. Bamia.
But your own party members are doing so too.
No, you see, I'm talking about John Mahama. Why are you talking about my party?
No, but I'm saying that we don't need to do it. Because these are tribal conflicts. You don't have to
from today, don't describe yourself as fearless because you are not fearless.
I am fearless. I am. But I have a philosophy. When there's conflict, I don't want us to stoke the conflict.
No, but that is why, as politicians, we must bite our tongue.
Yes.
Whenever there's but that didn't happen. You see, it's when the NPP talks about something, they are being tribalistic, these people would know. Then, yes, we keep quiet. But when an NDC man says something, I think Ghanaians put us, that's what I told you, Ghanaians put us on a different pedestal to that of the NDC.
You are elitist.
Well, I won't say we are elitist. We are just, we love our country.
Okay.
I would say we are elitist.
Okay.
But if John Mahama said all those things, but today, the conflict has left Boko and come to his own backyard, the Brefos and the Gonjas. Yesterday I listened. And the answers he gave, you can clearly see that the man is eating humble pie now. You see, because when these conflicts erupt, and you are the president, and the state is spending resources that we don't have to quell these conflicts down in the north, it's not a sensible thing for any politician of either side to peddle something that you know clearly is an untruth just because of political power.
Okay. All right.
Pusiga, Honorable Ladi, her house has been burned down. Mama Yarega, all the Kusasi MPs, they cannot even go to the region. Yes. That's what's happening in the Upper East now.
How do we resolve them? That's what I want.
If Akufo-Addo was president, they would have told him, they've asked him to declare a state of emergency there.
So do you have to tell them to do
No, you had the opportunity to meet him yesterday. Weren't you there?
No, I wasn't there.
You were okay.
But I monitored on television.
No, but I'm sure somebody from here.
Oh, yes. We had a team.
So next time when you meet him, then play all those. I'll send you the tapes of all the things that he said in the elections.
Okay.
You want to have another opportunity, just say, Mr. President, do you say these things? Do you say these things?
Okay.
It's all on social media. Go, you see them online.
But you want to be the General Secretary of the NPP, and people are worried about how politics in Ghana has been monetized. And today, if you don't have money, you cannot even put yourself up to be a member of parliament. You cannot put yourself up to become an executive of a party. Aren't you worried? And how are you going to tackle that?
Yeah, well, it's true. Money is speaking too loudly in our politics. It's very, very true. And when that happens, hardworking and loyal party people feel left out. I think, like I said, as a general secretary, I'll push for a party that rewards service, not just spending. And you see, I kept telling you, if the more we continue to expand the base of the party, for example, if you came to Subin today, we have 170, I left 170 polling stations, times 5, plus the coordinators and the executives, plus myself, that from the Electoral College at the time. That number can be induced financially. You understand? But if we had at least 5,000 to 6,000 people going to select a member of parliament, it's going to be very difficult.
Exactly, yeah. That's true.
So that is why I don't understand my party, why we are refusing. We see clearly the problem. The solution is the numbers, because it's like, you know, election. You cannot go around bribe everybody to vote for you. No. It's impossible. So what can you do, say, for general elections? If you really want to do away with the monocracy. Okay. So the system is the machine that is encouraging the monocracy. You understand? Well, if you expand the base and you go to a constituency like Subin, where NPP doesn't get anything less than 40,000. I'm sure this time it went down 31,000. In my time, we got upwards of 43, 44, 45,000 for both presidential and parliamentary.
Okay.
And even 10,000 out of that is from the Electoral College by electing the presidential candidate and the member of parliament. Who are you going to bribe?
Yeah, it'll be difficult. So the solution.
So we see the solution.
Okay.
But we just don't want to take the bull by the horn. Okay. You understand? Okay. And deal with the solution. Say, look, expand. Let's expand. Let's expand. Once we expand and get the numbers in, it's going to be very difficult.
Okay. All right.
It's going to be very difficult.
Mr. Eugene Boakye entry. I'm grateful to you for coming on.
Oh, let me my partner. Oh, you are done. Your time is up.
My time is up. But I don't know, you can have.
Yeah, 2024. Like this is my party. But 2024 humbled us. But 2028 will redeem us. I believe that we have to stand united as a party, inspire the Ghanaian people, and deliver victory for Ghana come 2028. And we are going to be coming to your constituencies and your regions to sell the vision and the plan to achieve that to you. So, my esteemed party people, thank you all very much. Thank you all very much this morning for watching. And thanks to Mr. Brace for also hosting me. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Eugene Boakye entry is aspiring General Secretary of the NPP and former Member of Parliament for Subin constituency in the Ashanti region. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Please do stay with us. Well, welcome back. Let's talk about the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, because that is your premier platform for where, construction people are connected to financial consultants, financial institutions, and homeowners. So it's like a platform where all of us who dream of living in our own homes meet to see what we can have on the market. Let's talk more about it today, because we're joined by Samson Apia. He is marketing executive with Superlock Technologies, as well as George Yeboah-Mensah, also a marketing executive with Superlock Technologies. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So if we say Superlock, someone hears Superlock, maybe this is the first time the person is hearing. Are you into IT, or what do you do?
Okay. Thank you again, and thank you to your listeners as well. The name Superlock, firstly, you think about locks, but we do more than locks.
Okay.
Superlock, we into serve.
So lock, you mean lock?
As in lock
the door.
Lock, and doors. That's what people feel or think when you hear the name first. But we do more than that. We just solve the problem you need in your house after the block work is done. We come in, we do the security doors for you, we do the internal doors, we do burglar proof, we do collapsibles, we do aluminum windows, we can get you garage gates as well, we do balustrades, and we can give you a nice, very, very, very nice and quality kitchen as well.
Okay, all right.
Anything to do with the house.
Okay, so Sammy, for you, what makes your name or your brand stand out in terms of providing solutions for housing?
Yeah, so I believe that Superlock, everybody have heard of, or maybe a lot of people have heard of Superlock. We've been in the system for about 20 years and over, and we've still been delivering quality services. When it comes to finishing works and when it comes to the quality of the product, Superlock is ready to deliver. When you talk about the doors, the aluminum windows and other things, it has specific properties that products on the market don't have. When it comes with the doors, for instance, it comes with the doors. Let me talk about it's a property where we call it a self-destructive mechanism. It destructs itself once somebody forces to open the door because it's not being opened with the key. So once you force to open it, it distracts itself. I mean, tightening the security. When you talk about the aluminum windows, it has some properties that gives it a soundproof. When you are inside, you don't hear the noise going on outside.
Oh, so you have that?
Yes, we have that. So we have the bulletproof door weighing over 150 kg. These are stuffs that we have that you don't get them on the regular market. And these things make Superlock a very unique company organization to, come get your stuff from us.
George, why did you, or what motivated Superlock to come on board the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair as a co-sponsor, and how does that align with your brand's mission?
Okay, Joy FM is very renowned, and everyone wants to join the winning wagon. So we need publicity. We're selling. We need a lot of people to come on board. So once Joy FM is out there, you are renowned for over 30 years, if I'm not mistaken, in the media company. A lot of people listen to you. So we need publicity as well. So once we are joining Joy FM, we know we are getting value for money. People are going to listen. People are going to troop into the park where the exhibition is going to be held, and they're going to patronize. Even if yes, if they're not going to get it now, they come there, have a look at what we've got for them. If not now, in the future, they're still going to come back or tell people about what they came to see, and they will still purchase our product. Yes.
So you bought into credibility. Once he says people will come there to know what you do and buy into it, what should people expect when they come to your stand on the D-Day?
So we are bringing in some nice packages. I mean, we know that people are really going to come in for the product, and knowing the caliber of product we have, people also think that it's very expensive and they can't afford. We have special packages for them in terms of discounts that we are going to give to them. We have discount going as high as 25% on some of the products. So once you come in, we are going to give you specific discount on the product that you are really going to be able to afford it. And also with the estate developers, they come in with a lot of, product, like they want a lot in larger quantities. And they too, we are going to organize special discount. Maybe to even be more than the 25. Should we look at their the quantity of the product that they are going in for. So we say that just come around, come and look at the stuff that we have, come and see for yourself. I mean, some of the doors we are showing it for you to see on the screen, but come there, come and have a feel of it, the quality, and see how best we can also help you to acquire some of these products.
Earlier you mentioned about the soundproof.
The soundproof, yes.
Does it also include the window?
Yes, that's...
So the soundproof is both the door and the window?
Sure.
And you have all of that?
It brings, you see, for the windows, that's what I'm telling you, that one is 100, it's not 100%. It reduces it. Okay. The property that we use, we have a certain accessories that we use on it. Many of the products you have on the regular market don't use those accessories. Okay. So these accessories that we do reduces the noise that comes from the outside and even the heat. So that air conditioning, if you're using an air condition in the room there, I mean, with a little use of it, the place is very cool and keeps it for a longer time.
Okay. I'm asking because sometimes you're living in a very noisy area.
Exactly.
And you can have a product that will block the noise. Exactly. Of course, that would be super for you.
Let me talk about, there's this door we've introduced now, that's the WPC, it's the waterproof door.
Okay.
I mean, currently it's really dominating. A lot of estate developers are coming in for that particular door. And I believe that that door has this property whereby, I mean, it can resist water, it can be in water for so many years. So if you're in a place that is very moist, maybe water comes there, it's not going to affect that particular door. It's waterproof. Yeah.
Okay. George, yes. Looking ahead, what should Ghanaians expect from your company in terms of offerings, innovation, and what your contribution to the housing and construction space?
Okay. I believe once the company came into existence, we started with the security doors. But over this long period of time, we've introduced a lot of stuff in there. We started with the security doors, we brought in the internal doors, introduced burglar-proof, the aluminum windows. We now do very, 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 very beautiful kitchens. I can say it's one of the best on the market. With the quad top, very excellent. Whatever the society wants, we go into the market, we do more prospecting. We're always going to deliver. Okay. So we are ready to introduce a lot of new stuff that's going to make your home very, very safe and enjoyable.
They are affordable.
Quality comes with a price.
Okay.
Quality will always come with a price.
You need to afford it.
And we are in there to also assist you get it.
Okay.
That's why we're going to give some nice discounts. We have some nice payment terms. Once you want it, you come have a feel of it. You know I'm not going to waste my money. I wouldn't buy a door and I'll go change it tomorrow or tomorrow next. I've been around for like 5 years and I've been to some houses. You purchase one door for 17 years. You are not changing handle, you are not changing locks, you are not spraying. You're paying for quality. Really? So it comes with the price. You are paying for the best, let me say that. Yes, so it's affordable.
Okay. So if someone wants to connect with you, because like you explained it such that I'm even wishing to, to have some. So how should people connect with you both at the fair and after the fair?
Okay. We will have a stand over there. There will be a lot of marketers around. We will be exhibiting some of the product because we can't move in the kitchen over there because the volume is big. Maybe the security door, the internal door, maybe the WPC door, some of the balustrades. Yes, some will be on the exhibition grounds to come have a look at it. So after, we have a lot of showrooms too around.
Okay.
You can just walk in. We are all over. We have 4 showrooms in Accra. We have 1 in Takrady. We have 1 in Kumasi. The head office is at Jowlu. We are open for business. We are in to serve the customers.
Okay.
To come in, we're going to give you the best product as well.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. You might want to put your number across.
Yeah, so
if someone wants to call you.
Yeah, so if you want to reach Superlock, we have a short code you can call us on. That's the *9999, and you will get back to you. If you want a quote, we will get you a quotation on any product that you want.
*9999. That's it.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
We on all the social media as well. We on Instagram, we on
Facebook,
IG. LinkedIn, IG. So once you punch in Superlock, we'll get hold of you.
All right. Thank you very much for coming. George Yabua Mensah and Samson Apia are all marketing executives with Superlock Technologies. This is still the AM show. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the concluding part of our show. All right, so welcome back to the last leg of the show, and this time we're going to talk about something that would interest you: how AI, can help you manage your HR quite efficiently. Mr. Gregory Fernandez is CEO and founder of HR Plus Software Limited, and they have an innovative product that all of us will be interested in. Mr. Fernandez, good to have you on our show. Now, tell us more about what this HR Plus software is all about. Kindly unmute so we can hear what you're telling us.
Yes. Good morning, Africa. I'm here from in Trinidad in the Caribbean.
Okay.
Right. and I'm happy to be here with you this morning. Surplus software, it's we have developed this new software called, we have named it Cerebra, which means that it is pretty intelligent. So the difference between what we have embedded in our product versus other vendors is that it is based on a lot of AI agents being there with you to assist you in doing your work. And it operates in the background and monitoring your database and your, the pinpoints and other things in the application, and provides you immediately with advice. So it doesn't do anything for you in the sense of taking action on its own, but it advises you what you should do. And then in conjunction with the AI, you can then instruct the AI to do particular things for you to make your life much easier, right? So it's like it's almost alive.
Okay.
It's in the back, and it's working with you. So what it does, it enhances your productivity significantly, right? Like let's say you have body software. The first thing happens is that you will meet with a member of our team, right? And then what happens, they introduce you to the AI and they show you how the AI can assist you. So you get comfortable that the AI is not doing anything outside of the remit that you have decided that you wanted to do. Yes. So, but it can train your staff on the use of the software. It can, like normally when you use software, you have issues at times and you have to go to a help desk. The AI actually works as the built-in help desk as well. So a 24/7, 365 is always there, always available to assist you. So you can move very quickly to doing your tasks. And it can do analysis of your reports, give you recommendations based on that. So it's constantly there with you, assisting you. And it's much more than a chatbot, right? It does a lot of the functions of our staff. It does, now our staff focuses more on what I would say is consultancy with the client, but the AI does a lot of the project management, the implementation work, the help desk, the training, right? And then it additionally is there always advising you. So if you have a disciplinary issue at your business, what AI allows you to do, when you're setting it up, you could upload employee handbook and all the company policies in respect of how it deals with employees, right?
Yeah.
And what the AI would do is then, based on what has happened, it would reference that and immediately advise you of the steps you should take, et cetera, et cetera. So it's always there with you, assisting you. It's really a productivity tool.
This is quite interesting. I guess this is a world first, right?
If it's a?
I guess this is a world first, something that is new. We haven't had anything like this.
Correct. What has happened is a lot of the vendors, so software has gone through a few paradigm shifts. So, we had the green screen many years ago with the character. Then you went to Windows and Macintosh with the graphical user interface. Then you went to the web, and now we have gone to AI. At each stage, for you to maximize what you can get out of the technology, the key thing has really been to rewrite the software and embed the technology from the ground up. So this is what we have done versus other software vendors who have added a sophisticated chatbot, more or less, to their existing application. So therefore, it doesn't go anywhere near and give you anywhere near the functionality that we have. Yeah?
Okay. And why should Ghanaian companies care about HR+?
Well, first of all, what I would want to say is that the reason we are coming to the AI conference in Ghana, right? So we are coming to an AI conference in Ghana on the 23rd and 24th of September, is also because we plan to establish offices in Ghana and in Africa as a whole, right? So the thing is that once you have a few hundred employees, and you have to manage them and address all the issues with respect of human resource. You need something like this type of software to make you address those requirements in a more efficient and simple way. And this is what the software does. It. So we have about 300 clients across 22 countries, ranging in size from maybe 30 to 40 employees up to over 6,000, right, at each site.
Okay.
So it's very scalable and will assist you in addressing the needs of your employees across a large organization as well as small.
But is this affordable to small and medium companies?
It is. It is modular. We have over 20 modules, but it starts at a very, very affordable price. And of course, once we in Ghana, we will be using the local currency, so persons don't have to worry about foreign exchange. But it will be equivalent of about $3 US per employee for a startup. So somebody who has 20 employees, we're talking about the equivalent in Ghanaian cedi of about 20 US dollars, yeah?
Wow, that's how much it costs. Is it per month or per year?
It's per month, right?
Okay.
It's a SaaS in the cloud. Now each customer is isolated from the next. You have your own container, and that container, the AI is isolated, everything is isolated. So there's no chance of your stuff mixing up with anybody else. Yeah?
That's very affordable.
Very affordable.
Yeah.
And it allows you to have this situation where you are not affected by the performance of anybody else on the platform. So if there's a company on the platform with over 6,000 employees or larger, their usage does not affect you. You always get consistent performance.
Well, so if someone is listening and is impressed like I am, how can I get in contact with you and get started?
Right. Well, we are on the web at www.hrplussoftware.com, right? But in addition to that, as I said, we will be in Ghana as of next week.
Okay.
I believe we are going to be arriving next weekend. Yeah. And we will be at the conference and in Ghana for 5 days.
Okay.
Right. And at that point, we will make contacts and so on. And we are going to be working to get a partner in Ghana to work with, right? Because we do not know the lay of the land. So we are going to be looking for a Ghanaian partner to work with us and set up on the ground in Ghana. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I wish you all the best. We would love to meet you when you come, and all the best to you as you head down here, Ghana.
Thank you very much. I look forward to meeting you as well.
All right. All the best to you. Gregory Fernandez is the CEO and founder of HR Plus Software Limited. And look, they offer all of that particular software to do all of the multitude of the work for you for just around $30 per month. I mean, we can't wait to have them here. And that's how we wrap up the AM show for you today. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace. Up next is News Desk with Mamiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Good morning.